Peace and love, everybody. Thanks for coming. I'm Big Mama, Sister Freedom.
Hello, hello, hello. Daughter of the Sea here. Happy Saturday.
Peace and
Thanks
love, everyone. It's Dulcinea.
It is Saturday, ain't it? I'm telling you, let's get it in tonight.
Oh, that's right.
Misha.
I know that's right. Okay, we're going to get started. Matter of fact, Dulcie, you go ahead on and start tonight. Start the conversation.
Wait, we got to shout out the folks in the chat. What's up, y'all?
Okay. I moved too quick.
Hey, Keith. He was the first one in the building. Engine was the second one in the building. Okay, Chris. Glass Moon. Welcome, y'all. And thank you for the compliment, Chris. The best theme song on YouTube. You heard?
Thank you.
Smoke. Hi.
You know, brother Morpheus did that song for us. Yes. We got to thank him.
Shout out to Morpheus.
Everybody loves that song. People just be humming it.
Yeah.
Well, before we get into the video part, maybe you can add some clarity. We'll start with you, Sister Freedom.
Okay.
I know before you were reaching out to me about them trying to bring segregation back. So please let me know what you're talking about.
Okay. All right. So how this all got started was because the conversation was Nature Boy. Hey, Niambi.
Wait, no. You said Trump and them are trying to bring segregation back. That's what I'm asking you.
Oh, I didn't hear. Oh, Trump. Yes, I have been hearing that he's been trying to bring segregation back, and people been talking about how he was saying that now you don't have to let Black people or people of color, copper color people, let me get it correct, into your establishments. I mean, it's just been a whole bunch of talk about it. I haven't really indulged in it because I know ain't nobody doing that. And a lot of, undone people are against it too. They're like, we ain't going backwards. What are you talking about? But all this that's being done now is everything the sister that was trying to get in office was talking about he was going to do. He's doing it all. Everything that was said, he's actually doing it.
Do you know where he said this? Where he said he's trying to have no colored restaurants, where he actually said it?
No, I don't know when he actually said. I really didn't. This is what I've been hearing through the grapevine. That's why they've been having a bunch of like protests and things. And it's been said to our people to stay away from it. Leave it alone. This is what they wanted in office. So we're finding out that now, a lot of promises that he's made, have been just straight out lies, especially about Social Security, disability. All of the things are turning. I mean, my whole thing is about that one particular subject is you're saying that you're finding all these people as getting Social Security that's not supposed to be getting Social Security that's over 100 years old. Okay, well then pull their names out. Why are you firing people from their jobs? You know what I'm saying? Why are you threatening people about not getting Social Security? It's just unbelievable. I mean, it's been a nightmare, a total nightmare. And this tariff thing has been a total nightmare. He's now trying to make other deals with Africa, and Africa straight up telling them no. You put your foot in your mouth, and now you must have put a size 12 in there because you can't pull it back out. It's been a whole bunch of stuff that's just going crazy. And I just think that the craziest thing to me that's been going on is all these plane crashes, all these air crashes. This has never been heard of. I don't think this many crashes in this little bit of time. So it's been a lot of things that's going on, that's I don't know if people are hearing it incorrectly, but this is the things that's being talked about all online.
Yeah, that was going to be the next question I had. When you say these are things that are being talked about online, Is it a particular website that's saying this, a particular
Um,
news?
just people talking about it on different stations and things of that nature. But we could talk more about it if you want to go more into it. I'll have to specifically get the ones that's talking about it, the newscasters. Even Social Security. There's people that specifically come on just to talk about Social Security, disability, and how it is being affected, and how the people that was working for the department was affected by. It just don't make no sense. Everything that is going on is just like all over the place. Him and this Elon Musk guy, and also what's his name, Kennedy. He's gonna be making some remarks about how we have more something in us, more so than the undone people, and that we shouldn't get the vaccine shots. I think I even sent it to y'all
Yeah,
about
Robert Kennedy.
things that's coming out his mouth. I mean, why would you even say? It's just everything's being whitewashed, and that's really bad. It's like taking us backwards. So
Well, you gotta
I
be.
mean, look what's coming. People are hating it so much. They're burning the Teslas. They're not wanting to buy this man. They don't want nothing else to do with Elon Musk. And he was a very popular person before he got into this political thing with Trump. It just seems like everything is just backwards or going crazy.
But yeah, you have to be careful of like what you're watching. I know the TikTok videos, the different videos like that, because first off, people ain't burning no damn Teslas. They spend too much money on that. Teslas are still on the street everywhere. If it's not out on the street everywhere there, Tesla's going strong in Texas. But
Yeah,
what I will say is
money.
there's not a speech where Trump said anything about colored people not being going into establishments. There's no speech where he ever said that. So like and the hands off is not about, and one way you would know that there's not a speech of him saying that is because if he has said that, it would be on every newscast. It wouldn't be a person saying that he said that. We would have the clip, and that clip would be everywhere. If he said establishments can stop letting black people or colored people or Negroes or anything of the sort to be like, y'all can deny them access based on their race, that clip would be everywhere. We would see it over and over and over again. So the fact that someone is saying he said that and not playing the clip means that clip don't exist. So a lot of people are doing like this whole race baiting, being like, oh, be scared and all this other stuff. But hands off is about the Democrats, and it's about the money. Like what you mentioned with the Social Security, that's what hands off is about. It's not, and those are the protests. They're not about going back to colored and white only establishments or anything like that. The Democrats were mad that they were getting exposed for how much money they're getting under the table, and then they started these hands-off protests.
Okay. It just the whole. I mean, thank you, but I'm telling you what it's been being said about the Social Security. You know what I mean? So you know what I mean about we do know that people all lost their jobs. He fired everybody from the Social Security companies. Now he made it worse for elderly people or for people that don't know how to use computers, that they have to either go in the office or go online to set up an account for Social Security. And a lot of times elderly people can't do that. You know, like I said, we can get more in depth in it. Right now, I just pulled up something about, him saying something about, or people saying that he said something about, and these are newscasters, segregation. I didn't hear him say it
What
myself.
newscaster
Wait a
though?
minute,
Like, is it MSNBC
I didn't hear him say
or CNN or anything like that? Or what is the newscaster that you have pulled up currently?
this is something. Yo, now I got my glasses on. This is Queen something. Queen's News. Queen News.
That's not a newscaster.
Well, I don't know, but whatever it
That's
is,
a
but
blogger.
it has to have some validity to it if people are saying things. I don't think that, maybe, like I said, maybe people are hearing it wrong, but there's no way I could think that people are just making up stuff. If that's what you're saying, that people are just making up stuff. But if it is, it's people making up stuff all over the place because people are talking about. But I don't want to go so far into it and not have nothing to pull up or anything
Yeah.
of that nature.
Well, I get it. Only thing I would ask you, not to get too deep, do you really believe that if he said what Queens whatever is saying, that and the extent of what Queen whatever that blogger you're reading is saying, that it wouldn't be on MSNBC, it wouldn't be on CNN, it wouldn't be on BBC, it wouldn't be on Fox News, it
I'm not
wouldn't be on
sure.
credible journalist networks if he said something that crazy?
It's been a whole bunch of stuff that he supposedly have said that people are talking about. You know what I'm
But I
saying?
mean, just what Queen said, he said.
I'm not a person that sits back and looks at news all the time, but like I said, unless I can bring up something, I don't even know why. Ouch. We're still talking about it because I need to bring you evidence of people's of the conversations. But you asked me about it, so I just because I guess we were talking about it or whatever.
Yeah, we were just having a conversation
I just make
before.
sure. I just make sure that if we're gonna get into talking about the different things that people are complaining about, that I bring you skits on where they're talking about it and why they're talking about it. Just here in Delaware today, they were protesting all up and down Newcastle Road 40. They was protesting all, but the crazy part is I didn't see people of color out there. I mainly just seen a bunch of undone people. That's it.
That's good. We should not be out there. There's no reason for us to be out there in
Yeah.
their BS. That's their stuff.
Yeah, but their stuff is affecting us. What is happening is people of color are saying they're not going because we told you this was going to happen. But I blame us too. And I'm going to tell you why, because the majority of us did not get out here and vote. You know what I'm saying? So, I'm saying, this is kind of like your fault too, because you should have got out here and voted. But a lot of people just didn't vote. You know what I'm saying? So,
Mm.
Well, what I'll say really quickly about it is it's kind of like, I forgot who they recently said that died, but they had said some celebrity died, and I was like, "Oh no, he had died," because it was like a Queens blogger that said some celebrity had died. So I immediately went to the major newscasting to see if any of them reported it, and none of them had. And that's how you know when you're getting fake news, because if it's real, the news is going to say certain things. So certain things you can't believe just because it's videos or skits or a blogger, because again, they said, I remember at that point they said Jamie Foxx had already died and he didn't die yet. And they had to come back and walk that back. But usually a journalist has to actually make sure it's true before they actually release it. So that's why bloggers will come out without having all the information just to be the first to say something, yet they don't have the information. So you just have to be careful with that.
okay, that's not a problem. I can take that advice. You're right, Niambi. That's probably true. That's probably true what you're saying, babe.
Yeah,
The,
it
in,
is
the in
true.
the mainstream, it is true. But the mainstream media can lie to us. But I just think there's some. I just think that he's bad news. That's just. It's always been my opinion on him, and that's probably always going to be my opinion on him. Look at what's going on now with him arguing with everybody. It's just too much. And so is Bad Hombre says Kamala was a deep state puppet, and I just think that Trump is too. He's troubled. That's my opinion. But to each his own. Everybody walks with an opinion. Next.
Oh,
So there was
All right, go
statement
ahead.
made in a comparison, right, Dulcie, between Trump and Nature Boy. You ready to get on that subject?
Yeah, we can. Just for background. So what we're talking about right now is Sonetta had 2 interviews on his channel, HOK and Sonetta Studios, He brought on Nature Boy's current wives, Zoka and Eferu. I don't know if there's more than that right currently, but he brought on those two to interview them. And then they had a follow up with Janae, which is the young lady that actually testified against them, against Nature Boy. And Solar actually came up, which he actually testified against him too in the court case. So yes, at some point in the conversation, when the ladies had already left, they were comparing as far as the sentencing for Nature Boy, because he got life plus 10 years. And they were saying as far as they think that that is too much time. And there's other people that have done worse things. And they said Trump said grab her by the up, and the stuff that Trump has done is way worse than Nature Boy. So I'll let you start, Sister Freedom.
Okay. I didn't see that particular show that you're talking about, the second one. I did see the first one, but I didn't see the second one.
No, the first one is that one I'm talking about.
No, the first one was with the wives, right? The second one you said had the girl.
No, this is in the first one.
Well, I didn't see the whole thing, but I only seen part of it. Okay. Because I guess what they're saying is Trump has committed crimes that he was actually committed on and got off on it. They were saying if he became the president, they were going to let the charges go. I believe right now I can't even remember all the charges that the man had. It was so many of them. But here's my thing with Nature Boy. They were offering him a plea to 7 years. How do you go from offering somebody a plea to 7 years to life and 10 life in 10 years? How do you do that? It don't even go together. It don't even make no. So if he took the plea, they was going to just give him 7 years. But because he didn't take the plea, he gets life. Well, life, not killed somebody. Life, not rape somebody. Excuse me. I know we're not supposed to use that word. Rape somebody. From what I can remember, life in 10 years.
Yeah.
Myself personally, I think the comparison was the president got off on his charges because he shouldn't even been able as a felon to be running for president. Because we can't even sometimes get jobs if we are felon. Some men can't even get rights to their children. Some women can't get rights to their children when they are felons. He got off on it. And this man is getting life and 10 years. I just don't get it. Personally, to me, it makes absolutely no sense. Unless they were afraid of his control. I can't even think of why they would have. What? It don't even make sense to me. Even if they said, well, we're going to give you 10 to 20 years or something. Life with 10 years? I'm sorry. Don't make no sense to me. We know he was off a little bit. Hell, even sent him to some parenting classes for some things that he may have done with some remarks he had made about the baby. But when grown people make a decision, and I'm going to land my plane right here. Grown people make a decision to do something, and then somebody else has to be charged for the decision that another person made. That don't even make sense to me. I mean, it's almost like my dad killed somebody, and because I'm his daughter, I gotta go to jail for it too. But I'm gonna land my plane. That's just my opinion. It's just an opinion.
Okay. Oh, sorry. Those of you wanted to say something because I didn't have anything. I mean, I was gonna get
Oh, you
into
didn't have anything? Yeah. Yeah, I did want to
about
say.
that.
Venetia, did you want to say something?
The only thing that I wanted to is I yeah, that life plus 10 was really ridiculous. Um it really was really ridiculous. And even though I don't agree with the whole situation, how they live their lives, whatever, whatever, but a lot of the things that his current wives was saying as far as his sentencing, not about anything else. Just as far as his sentencing, I have to agree with. And you really got to look at it for what it is.
I think you
Do
was
y'all
going a little bit in and
understand
out.
what life means? For
Mm.
come back in, and I'll drop off and come back in. But yeah, that is it's ridiculous.
I'm with you, Niche. It just, you know, it's somebody. Delsey fell off. That's what it was. Okay, I knew it was somebody missing. I'm just saying, and I'm a shut up. But
Wait, let Nisha finish and then
oh, I'm sorry. It could have been her.
yeah, it was Nisha that was talking.
Yeah. Denise. I didn't know if Nisha was done or her phone was going in and out. Was you done, Nene? See what I'm saying? It's all silent, so I wasn't really sure. But did you have something you want to say, Dulcie? I think
Oh, I can wait till
did.
after you. I thought I heard Nisha talking at first before
No,
it
she
kicked me
wasn't.
off. But you can go ahead and go and then I'll speak after you.
Okay. All right. Did everybody see this series? Because that's in what it ended up being was a series in a sense of them to me their kids. Okay. Um it just was weird the whole situation. But when a person says a person raped them, right? Me looking at the series, right? It's almost like you went upstairs, you took your clothes off, you laid on the bed, and then said, "Don't grape me," or "You grape me." Now, if anybody looked at this series on how it went, I mean, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I was looking at the wrong thing. And then here you go, Nene back on. Then you don't leave and you come back. I mean, I mean, hey, all right. I'm done.
I, I believe she left after that, but I'll say that I do understand the sentencing. I'm all for the sentencing. I'm probably the only one that is for the sentencing. I'll explain the 7 year thing. They offered him a 7 year plea deal for revenge porn if he had taken that deal for just the revenge porn, but he denied it. He obviously shows no remorse as far as it. He's like, take it to trial, and that's where they added the grape charge as well as the false imprisonment charge, which is what's giving him life plus 10 years. But I don't feel like he's being railroaded at all. I think with these cult leaders that we have, like him, like York, like um the other one that was in the Hebrew camp or anything, it's like their charges may not be all the things that are happening, and people are judging them based on all the things and not just that court case, but people are dying, people are being raped and different things like that. They are, I think also they added a charge as far as for the STDs that he was spreading, which is, I forgot what the technical term for that is, but they did add a charge for that. So he is spreading the STDs amongst the women and amongst the men and all this other stuff. So they do say it like that he's a danger to society. And I did agree with something that I think it's this Sister Ray as well as Nepal was saying in that first one, of just how people bring up these white men to be like, oh, this comparison of white men and all this other stuff. And this is a downplay to our men in our society, but it's not. If our men are a danger to us, they need to be locked up. And people will be like, oh, the YT men or anything, but usually the YT men are a danger to them. So I've never understood that, as far as being like taking the mindset that we care more that the YT men are not being a danger to their society, and then we let the people that are being a danger to our society run free. And I don't want to get too deep or anything into a Me Too moment or anything, but um, being graped and being giving in to being graped so someone can let you go is a real thing. It's like, okay, I don't want to do this. I'm saying no to this. I'm fighting back, but at some point I want to go. So now I'm going to just let it happen because I've already fought and I'm losing. So that's a real thing.
Well, you done, Josie?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm done.
I
It seemed
think
like
that's
no, I was just saying it just seems like them girls and all of them went over there. They wanted to be over there because they went over there and they wanted to do the things. And you know what? Bad Hombre made a statement that is true. That is true when he said that you could be, you know, fornicating with someone in the mix of it, and then you say stop, and then because you said stop, in the eyes of the law, it could be considered rape. But here's the situation. In the midst of all that going on, and you done took your clothes off, panties off, and all that, and y'all in the midst of it, and you know how you know, you could be saying stop, but it actually the man don't know that you saying stop, like really stop, unless you start fighting them or something. They won't know. They'll think that it's just another form of, you know, make they bust their head like, oh, like I'm really doing something. You know, some men are like that, like I'm doing something good in their mind. They don't know that you mean it unless you start fighting the person. So people, and a person could look at it different ways. I just say take accountability for your own actions. He has to take accountability for the part that he played in it, but just as well as the people that went over there to be with him and willingly did things with him. And then, because some people, I think, out of jealousy can do stuff too. No, because you was with her last night, and no, because you was with her last night, and how with all the stuff that was going on, how they know who was giving out the sexual transmitted diseases? There was so much going on. How they know which one was doing it? What? Because everybody was doing everybody, seemed like to me. They was having babies, all kinds of stuff. So it's just a big mess. But, you know, I personally don't know nobody unless they are serial rapists. They got a life plus 10 years. If she's the only one that was saying that he raped her, if that's what she was saying, that was life and 10 years? Wait a minute. He raped her after the fact that they was always messing around having sex?
I think Velvet testified too, Dots, right? Didn't Velvet testify too? Like, she's not the only one that said it. She might have been the only charge, but I think other people testify, right?
yeah.
And when you say cult leader, that can be considered so much. They to me, they powered him up. They made him have the big head and be the sociopath that he was. It's like they wanted. Did you see how those girls and those guys was acting? Bowing to him, doing all kinds of stuff. This one man can't make you do anything. They wanted to do that. They willingly wanted to do that. That one man that probably in a fight couldn't beat those men. I mean, I try to be a realist about stuff, and some things just don't make no sense to me. But if somebody else try to make sense out of what don't make sense, then I gotta let them have that. I think they all just mentally was. I think that the law or whoever was just feared his somewhat. I guess they felt like he had some type of power that he can manipulate the minds of the people because he had that much knowledge of stuff. Rather, some people didn't like his knowledge. Not some people thought it was him copying after this. I just kept copying after information of that has already been out. I'm gonna just leave it at that.
I will say I think people are born that way, but to your question about the sexual diseases, the cult leader is always going to take the charge, especially if they have a sex cult and they're the ones that being like, I'm going to take this woman, you take that woman, and we going to swap women and all this other stuff. And they're the ones in charge. Then if STDs are going around because of it and you have a sex cult where sex is part of your cult, then the leader is going to take the charge.
Wow. Because people was coming.
That leads us into another. Oh, can you guys hear me?
I was just saying people was coming over there left and right.
Hear me?
How they know which ones did it?
Yeah, we can. Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay. Okay. I think that's a good segue. I think that's a very actually good segue into that whole to what we're going to be talking about, especially in terms of accountability, right? Mm-hmm. And before even we get started, it's like I just want to ask these questions. It's more rhetorical than anything, but should other members be held accountable for their participation in the abuse of others, or are they excused because they were in a cult, right? Should there be accountability as well for their participation in abusing other members, or is it okay and they're excused because they were in a cult? That's just something that I think, those two questions I'm interested in hearing what you guys think. And it leads us into what we're going to be talking about tonight mainly. And I want to just say to you guys that before we get started, shout out to y'all in the chat. This is not about the HOK. This is not about SA. I think it was good. I think Napad did a good moderation of the show overall. Mm-hmm. But I really want to, where we're going with this is just we're going to be addressing like the larger point of accountability, but more so the reason why we're having this conversation is because we need to address Fat Man who tried to be Superman and failed. Okay. And if y'all confused on who I'm talking about Rubbish. I know Rubbish means garbage. I'm talking about Rubbish Cube, or AKA Outside the Cube. Okay. He had a whole lot to say when the dots, and I only spoke for 2 minutes, right? Boy, was he triggered. Outburst. Oh my God, sensitive. He was the example, the epitome of what a crash out looks like, just straight failure. So I just want to be clear about where this conversation is going. All right, because this is more so about, yes, carbonation, yes, that topic, and I thought it was a good show, but definitely I'm addressing Cube, okay? This is where this is going. So Sai did a show. I believe they had 2 shows. I think one was on Sai Netta TV and the other was on House of Consciousness. I want to give you guys some context real quick. All right. So prior to that even happening, like we always do, Freedom let me know that Sai was going to be interviewing the ladies from Carbonation or what have you. And for those of you who may not know, but when I started going live on YouTube, maybe like 7 years ago, it was about just sharing my commentary about carbonation and what was going on with Nature Boy. Mm-hmm. I also am really good friends with Maisha, okay, who's the Chop Baby's mom. She's like the second one that he's always talking about. She's from Brooklyn, so I'm very close to her, right? So I kind of also had sort of like the inside kind of scoop. And for those of you who may or may not know, I used to report on it, do commentary on it. I had many of the people from Carbonation coming up on my panel when I used to go live with the history and the digital footprint that Carbonation and Nature Boy left behind, right? So during this show, when I went to the live, Nepal was moderating it, and he was talking to Sassy Solar, and she was talking to Janae. And when Janae was in a cult, she was addressed as Nateri, I believe. And so towards the end of the show, as it was closing out or whatever, I was in a chat. They invited me up. I hit the link. I came up and I said literally 2 minutes what I'm getting ready to play. Whatever I said triggered, okay? Triggered Rubbish Cube so bad that he crashed out. And it was kind of embarrassing, right? It was kind of embarrassing. I felt bad for him. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start with the part where I had came up onto the panel, and then I'm gonna let y'all hear what this I don't even know which we're gonna be nice. When Fat Man wanted to respond to me. Okay, so it's not gonna be too long, but I want to start there. And then after I show y'all his response to me, I'm gonna go back and we're gonna talk about the history and why I said what I said. Okay, y'all? All right. Buckle up. Make sure you guys are smashing the like button. Love and appreciate y'all. All right, let's get it. Hold on. Tell me if y'all can hear.
Man, we have to
Can y'all
delve
hear me?
into our divine masculine. You know,
We can hear.
To the heart of the matter. So I would like to interview you actually,
Hold
Q.
on,
That'd
y'all.
be great.
Well, always this was a
Hold on, y'all.
that's a
Bear
wonderful
with me. Bear
thing
with
for
me.
y'all.
I had the time
Miss
stamp right in. We all know ability and solarity because
Please.
all right, let's go.
I want to bring in Dot. She wanted to add, and I'm glad you came back in. When you were in last time, you must have fallen off. But peace
Yeah, I
to you,
don't
Dot.
know. Hey y'all. Hey, good night. Good night. I'm gonna be real quick because I did have a question, but I'm gonna wrap it up. I think I've heard great show also, I just want to say.
Thank
And I've heard
you.
the word like accountability, divine masculinity, all these terms of throughout the conversation, right? And Solar, this is directed to you mainly because we all know that part of healing is accountability and time, right? But part of the divine masculinity is also protection of your feminine counterpart. And we know obviously that it wasn't there, right? And I think to Seven Asar's point when he was talking about the accountability man to man, this is just my opinion. I think it's a little bit, I think it's deflection and it's a little bit disingenuous to say, because I was brainwashed and it's all Nature Boy's fault. You, at the end of the day, right? Part of healing is accountability. And that doesn't mean that you are blamed for the actions of another and how another treated somebody. However, you are responsible for only you and what you chose to do or not do, humbly, in my opinion. Okay. And I also just want to say that one thing that I don't know, it concerns me is when have seen this a lot, when you are healing and you're coming out of something that was so abusive and demonic and hard and harsh, which it was, we all know time is so critical, right? However, what I have seen is immediately after leaving, right, I hear a lot of the same terminology. I hear a lot of the same words, a lot of the same phrases that you guys used to speak in Carbonation. And I've heard you say, as well as Janae, but I've heard you guys appoint yourselves as like, I'm going to be the example. I'm going to be the role model. I am the teacher. I am help. I am balanced. This is that, right? But how can you or anyone teach another about themselves or how to become more conscious when you have just started your process? And that requires a bit of humility, but it also requires accountability. And I don't think it's fair that all of the negative deeds and negative things that was done in Carbonation just gets put all on Nature Boy as if the adults there also wasn't complicit. Two things can be true at the same time. That's all I want. But just in summary, that's it. That's all.
Thank you, Dot.
I want to pause that real quick, and I want to. I don't know. Somebody has to mute up. There's a lot of back chat. I just want to. Is it me? Okay. I just wanted to tell you guys that the reason why, if you notice, as I was speaking, right, Solar intently listening. He didn't feel disrespected. He didn't feel like I was coming at him. He sat there and he listened. Janae, the same thing, right? It was no problem. And I want to repeat that, right? At what point, because they were using words like divine masculine. I'm the divine masculine, divine masculine, divine masculine. And part of being divine masculine, I would think, is accountability, is owning your shit, right? And so while I don't expect you to be held accountable or responsible for what Nature Boy did, what I'm talking about are the abuses that you did to others while you were in that group, right? I also knew that me making that statement was not going to be the popular opinion, because what has happened, in my opinion, is that as if you were in Carbonation and you come on and you blast Nature Boy, everybody loves you. Oh, God bless you. I've been praying for this. You got this. You're a queen. You're a king, and all that little kind of surface words, right? But how is that realistic? And how is that divine masculinity if you can't own, right, what your role to play in it? And by no means, and I want to be clear, and this is why I have a few clips, because I want to show y'all part of my digital footprint. And I want to show y'all the reasons why I'm saying what I'm saying. It seems like people, I just don't get it. I don't get it. Solar, to be quite honest with you, and so you're going to hear Solar say it himself, right? He was second in command. He was proud of that fact. He enjoyed the power. He enjoyed the attention that he was getting. He actually, even after Nature Boy was arrested, you would hear Solar talking about the fact that he was the real chief of Carbonation. And I'm going to play that too. But I said what I said. I said what I said. And if anybody know me, when I first started out on when I used to go live on my channel, what have you, I've always had that opinion. Right? So I just wanted to put that out there, and I'm gonna continue, and let's hear what Funky Rubik's Cube had to say, because he was triggered, baby.
For coming in and adding that. I'm gonna
Yo,
let
the
you
fucking nerve, bro.
Hold
The
on,
nerve.
wait, no,
No,
Cube,
I
Cube,
think-
Cube,
I
Cube,
think-
Cube, Cube, everybody,
I
everybody,
deserve
before
to
you go,
respond to that.
you are gonna respond, Solar. You're gonna respond. But I want to say something before you do, because I'm kind of like a moderator here in this. I appreciate that Dots obviously isn't the only one who's saying these things, but what we need to focus on, we're fair here. I say divine feminine. I say I'm praising people, victim to escape. I don't know what Solar's saying online. I kind of heard her say, you're saying you're the teacher, you're this. I know what's going on. I don't see Solar any different than I see Suzuka. I don't see Solar any different than I see Janae. I don't see Solar any different than anyone in that house who was under Eligio. Now, Solar, you can elaborate, but I know about cults, and men don't get beaten over the head when they enter a cult. When they enter a cult, they're in the cult. They hand up over all their power. We might see a facade of power. We might have thought that he had some power. He had no power. He might not even say this, because maybe the male bravado ego, he was powerless.
But hold on, sister. Hold on.
I do want you to say something, but let's keep it, we're closing it out.
Yeah, I can keep it PG, but hold on though. This woman just disrespected this dude. This dude just came and availed himself and made himself available to us, and she's trying to place a something on this brother. Hold on. If the sister Janae is a damn survivor, then so is this brother. Why would she come on here and even say something like that, bruh? Why would she come on here and say that she respects both of them? Because she wants to give respect to Janae, and rightfully so if she is a survivor. But what about the brother? So why is she even coming on here with that? Why aren't you, Nepal, castigating this woman and telling her to get the hell out of here with that nonsense?
No. Because I first off, I know. Let me tell you, Cube, you did great with how you express yourself. I don't have to castigate her because she's.
Yes, you have to.
Hold on. Let me say, Cube, give me a minute. You could go in on your show on this if you like. But
when I speak,
you're going to speak, Solar. You're going to get to say. I'm not going to cut you off. You have free reign. Go until you can't go anymore. But I needed to say this. Dots came in and she said what Dots wanted to say, and Dots is speaking for a portion of the audience that's thinking this. Somebody in the audience said, "Oh, I'm so glad she asked that question." But see, That's going to help Solar, because now Solar can address it, right? I don't have to castigate Dots. Solar's going to address it. I said the truth and facts. This isn't an opinion. He was also under the rule and the cult indoctrination.
Can I ask you a question?
And the abuse of Eligio. I know
Can I
he
ask
wants
you a
to talk.
question?
Yeah, but
So
you know
take a
what?
deep breath.
Sometimes we got, listen, we got this old saying that says sometimes what's understood don't need to be explained. So
Yeah, but we're not talking about that right now.
No,
we can see all of these things, these negative things, but to sit and just, boldly put them out there as if it's the whole thing when we still talking about it's the half thing. So
I don't know what you talking about.
Yeah, but we
Jimmy,
ain't
I
talking
know
about
I
that.
don't know what she
Hold on,
talking about.
Me
Wait a
either.
minute. I don't want this to go left. Let me come in. Everybody's, I promise, especially Cuba. I know you've been waiting, but
And can I want to respond directly to
yeah, I'm
Cuba.
sorry. I'm gonna let Solar go.
Let me I'll handle that real quick.
Let me say this. Solar, you can close out with what you want to say. I want to say this. I'm starting to really see something. Are we not understanding that men aren't made out of stone and metal, and they're actually human beings?
Yes, that's what we're saying.
I thought, wait, Cuba, no, but I think people misunderstand when I'm saying the feminine divine. Men are not some other creature. They get victimized. They get manipulated. They get brainwashed. And I know, Solar, you might be like, damn, don't make me. They get downtrodden. Solar, you didn't have any power. If you're going to come in here, you could speak. But I know you had no power to save anybody. You didn't.
Huh?
He didn't. No, he had no power to save anybody. He was in a cult.
We all didn't.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
right.
Hold on.
I'm gonna let Solar go. Let
Let
me let Solar go.
Oh, yeah, go ahead, Solar. Start because I was talking to you.
Dots,
Yeah.
I kept
Then
telling
I
you.
want to respond to Q.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Can I just really quickly before I continue on? And I know my sisters probably want to jump in, and y'all jump in anytime. However, I just want to say something real quick. If you notice how Solar, when I said my little 2-minute spiel, you saw how Solar sat there and took it. He received it. He wasn't offended because I wasn't being disrespectful. I didn't say nothing out of turn. What I did was I expressed an opinion that a lot of people just are not bold enough to say out loud because they don't want to be perceived as being a Nature Boy supporter, right? But unfortunately, as long as you vocally say that Nature Boy ain't shit and I left and that, everything that you've done, all the bad deeds that you committed when you were there for 4 years, that gets excused because you were in a cult, because you had no power. That makes no sense. But I'm going to show y'all a clip, and I want to show y'all just how much power Sassy Solar actually had, right? Because the one thing about me is that I am very intuitive, right? And I can peep game from a mile away. What we're talking about is an individual, and I'm addressing Sassy Solar right now for this point. I know a manipulator when I see one. I see a young man who has absolutely no heart. I see a young man who's been riding on the coattail of this terrible cult for the past few years. And even though now he claims to be this divine masculine, and he's supposed to be this healer and this teacher because that Solar knows everything. Solar knows more than the whole goddamn world, right? But yet cannot just own his shit and say, you know what? I was wrong. I actually beat on Zoka. I actually I don't want to say he graped, but I actually was doing the exact same thing that Nature Boy was doing. But apparently that don't matter. Because as long as you say I don't like Nature Boy, all of that bad stuff gets forgiven. But the last time that I checked, in any holy book that you read, right? Whether it's the Bible, whether it's the Quran, whether it's one thing they talk about, and one thing I know is that when you're trying to get into the pearly gates of heaven, right? And this is what your belief is, and you are trying to get into the pearly gates of heaven, you're going to have to own the sins that you committed. You don't get a pass because I was in a cult. That don't work. And how is that masculinity? So Nature Boy is a demon because he would beat on the women. So Solar is not a demon, even though he was beating on the woman that he was with too. He gets a pass.
And Dots, I have a question about the clips that you have. Do you have any clips of him after he left the cult?
Oh yeah, that's what I'm going to play.
Okay.
But
Okay.
Oh, big time, big time. That's where we're going with this. Okay, that's where we're going with this. 1 second.
You can't
Solar.
respond to me without me talking. Be quiet.
Q, my friend. Please, y'all, both of you.
All
Dots
right,
of
when y'all
let's
ready,
hear
I'm
Solar.
ready.
Go ahead, Solar. Let's hear from him,
And
please.
I'm gonna go after him.
Yes, you can definitely do that, Janae.
Okay,
No, I'm
good.
gonna go after him. I apologize.
No,
Go
no,
ahead.
let Janae go after.
Hey, so here we go.
This isn't about Dots. About the thing that I keep seeing repeated in the chat. That's what I mean. So you're not
Not fair, because anybody who's practicing any skill or any craft is going to make a mistake at some point. And for them to hold an emotional attachment to that mistake is unhealthy. Whereas to actually learn and grow from that situation and become a better person today, that's the only thing that matters. So your question shouldn't be about accountability of other people and what happened to them in their lives. Your question should be, did you learn? Did you grow? What did you learn? And how did you grow? That's how you teach. A student is a teacher, and the greatest teacher knows that they're still a student. So at the end of the day, everybody's fit to teach. Number one. Number two, Cube is absolutely correct, because why would you look at me and say that I have to share a burden of what another person did to another person when I had nothing but the best intentions, which I already expressed that. So I don't have the need to take accountability for what happened with others. But what I can do, what I can do to answer you and to pay attention to that accountability is that, yes, I made plenty of mistakes. I went the wrong way many, many times. I was walking in the dark for years. I did not know who I was for years. I was seeking things outside of myself to fill these voids for years. And if I could go back and fix those things, I wouldn't be who I am today. Luckily, I walked through the dark. Luckily, I asked for the light and I found it and I went to it. And I choose to embody it today. And I choose to be better.
Okay, you know what?
Hey, let me say this real quick. Yo, my nigga, we gotta just keep this a buck, bro. And I'm not finna play with this woman.
But Cube, I don't want to have to take the stream
Why
down.
even bring it up?
I don't want to even because I want people to
No,
hear.
we ain't
this.
gotta do that. We could just allow me to speak. Like,
okay,
like,
okay, I know, but don't go into to leave that
no,
for.
no, no.
I gotta drop your link. Go
I'm not.
on your
I'm not gonna
channel.
be disrespectful. I'm not gonna be
All right,
disrespectful.
go ahead.
This woman, bro, she looked at the sister. I think her name is Janae. She looked at the sister and said, "Okay, this sister, went through what she went through, and we all can understand that." But when the brother is saying the same thing, that he went through something, she doesn't even care about that. Bro, listen, hey, Dots, whatever your name is, we ain't finna listen to you for real. Because what you're talking about is what you want to do is you trying to separate people. Listen, if this young brother went through something, even our sister Janae, she can say, "Oh, I went through that same thing," and that's where they can connect that. What you're trying to do is you're trying to separate it, like just because he's a man, he can't go through this thing. Yo, get out of here with that. Yo, hey, Sister DePaul, you should get that girl the hell out of here and don't even allow her to say this stuff that she's saying.
I want to just play the music. Good night, everybody. When Dots.
No,
I can't have this keep going. I'm sorry.
Okay, hold on. So I'm now gonna pull up the second clip, and you ladies could jump in real quick. However, I just want to say something. If you notice, right? So it is what it is. I don't think Nepal had any bad intentions. I was not allowed. I could not even respond back to this disrespectful, nothing ass nobody. Right? Even the sound of his voice would make any woman vomit. He's like a natural chick repellent. I know he don't get females. And when he do, he got to pay for them. I know that. That's a straight fact. But y'all hear him. He came in. He wanted to be Superman and straight failed. And I'm going to show y'all why he failed. And I'm going to show y'all why I feel the way I feel and why I'm saying what I'm saying. Okay? And while I pull that up, ladies, if y'all wanted to say anything, of course, this shouldn't have been while I pull up the second clip.
First of all, that's everything you said had major point. Okay. And because you knew the situation on firsthand and it was opinions. Okay. You had a right to your opinion. He twisted everything you said up.
Mhm.
Everything you said was twisted up. It made absolutely no sense as to why he jumped in as if he was in the defense of this man. And I also was listening to Soul Heart, and I remember when he was on Carbonation. To me, he. When did you realize that you was being brainwashed? When did you realize? Oh, it was convenient to say that you was brainwashed once you seen that this man was going to jail, but you took all the credit when you was his right hand man during the whole situation. You was messing with his girls. You was messing with Nature Boy's girls too. Didn't he mess with Velvet?
Mhm. They have a baby together, yeah.
They
And he
got a
was the one.
baby together. Somebody tell me that this is crazy, okay?
And so, and I listen, and I yes, for me, yes. Number
Crazy.
one, I don't know what
They
I don't
did a
know
whole Batman
who
and
was
Robin
trying.
scene, and
Okay,
Nature Boy. Go ahead, I'm gonna shut up.
if you are coming online and you are coming online and you're presenting yourself, Freedom, can you mute up? Because it's back chat. You gotta mute up.
I don't. But I'm not talking. I'm not
No,
even.
I hear it's back chat. Just
But there's
mute up.
back chat when you don't mute up.
Yeah. So yes, there isn't when you come online willingly and voluntarily and you're coming before people and you are playing to people's heart and you're saying that I've seen the light, right? I am a divine masculine. I'm really the teacher. I'm really the one who ran Carbonation. You're going to hear so I say that. I'm going to play it for you. And this is after Nature Boy was arrested. Let's be clear. Let's be clear. So, yes, when you are presenting yourself and you're claiming yourself to be this spiritual guru, you're claiming yourself to be so enlightened, you're claiming that you're this high mystical. Well, you know what? There's certain expectations that come along with that. Yes, there is. And when you start saying that to people, right, you have a duty to actually do that. And when you fail on that, you should be held accountable, right? So I'm going to play this next clip, and you're going to hear Solar out of his own mouth say that he was the real chief of Carbonation because he was getting a lot of slack, especially after Nature Boy got arrested, right? Because a lot of people were seeing through the BS. And what they do is they play to people's emotions because they know that when they go on someone's panel and they are against Nature Boy, they're going to get a lot of support, right? People are going to do exactly what Napon and the others did, which was defend. Instead of letting him respond, they'll speak for him, right? As if they're like saving somebody. No, absolutely not. I see right through that. I've always seen right through that. Real recognize real. This is not real. Point blank in the period. And that also tells me, because this is about Q, nasty ass. It has nothing to do with HOK. Let me be very clear, right? But here you had this fat man trying to be Superman again and straight failed with that. Because what he didn't realize is my history and the information that I know, right? And who I am affiliated with when it comes to this group. So let's hear Solar out of his own mouth. Let's hear what he has to say. Let's hear Solar say that he was victimized. And again, this clip was taken. He did this live after Nature Boy was arrested. Okay? He jumped ship real fast. Hold on, y'all. And shout out to Lisa says what? I got this from her channel. Hold on.
What y'all think we doing? We working. I'm working over here. I was inspired, very inspired. And I just remember I'm the chief of Carbonation. If you don't believe me, you don't believe I'm the chief of Carbonation? Is the history not enough? If you who've ever been there with me, is that not enough what I've done for the family? How I've been able to maneuver us, how I've been able to secure these houses, how I've been able to get us through these borders, how I've been able to get him out of jail, how I've been able to heal y'all through everything y'all have gone through, how I've been able to teach in the shadows, how I've been able to inspire and live, to get y'all to leave,
Do y'all hear what he's
to
saying?
get y'all to have to use your own light.
This kid.
That wasn't John the Baptist. That wasn't Jesus. That was the Antichrist. I'm the Christ. You're the Christ. That's how that works, plain and simple. When the knowledge changed to Eligio's God, nobody else is God but Eligio, and we're in cells in Eligio's body, and we're living in Eligio's dream, and you guys don't matter. You're just bots and AIs that are meant to do whatever. You don't deserve to have a penis. You don't deserve to have children. You had the wrong ones, Eligio. You see, you called for the chosen, and you got the chosen. That's exactly who you want to have a penis. That's exactly who you want to have love and in their life, and children, and procreation and creation. You had the chosen, stupid. You had the chosen, stupid. Those were the ones you want to have penises.
I'm just gonna stop it there. I don't think I need Nisha. We'll see if y'all want to jump in. But this was done. Y'all heard what he said, right? Everything that he just said technically are crimes. Am I right or wrong? Am I right or wrong? Did he not just say
100%
okay?
right?
Pause. All right. Stay with me on that. Stay with me on that. I'm going to ask y'all another question. Okay. So one after the house was raided, right? And Nature Boy was arrested. Okay. Solar, of course, didn't defect at that time. He didn't leave immediately. Took him a while, maybe 2 months or so. During that time of Nature Boy being arrested to when Solar allegedly found the light, I have some questions about that. What was the real intention? Did you really see the light, bro? Or is it the fact that you also know that you could be hit with charges if you don't rat, if you don't tell? Tell me how this reflects divine masculinity. And this is what garbage trash cube was defending, right? With his too tight Superman cape. And we know that nigga can't fly. He too fat to do that. He ain't got the skill to do that. He can't even walk down 5 stairs without having a self-induced asthma attack. That's a fact. And this is who he was defending. This is the man that you guys are defending. And make no mistake about it, right? If Nature Boy wasn't locked up, where do y'all think Solar would be? And so because even though Solar said it out his mouth, I was the real chief. And this is not the first time this boy has said this. He has said that numerous of times. He really feels that way. He really feels that way. But see, he can play in your face because he knows that everything that I did, all the abuse that I caused, not that Nature Boy caused, I'm talking about what he did, what Solar did, proudly, willingly. Oh, that gets ignored. That gets erased because he was in a cult. Real recognize real, point blank. And that tells me a lot of people just don't have discernment.
I have one more question, Don. Sorry to interrupt. Do you happen to have any clips where it was him and Jaguar White and 2 other females doing an interview, and he was on the outs with Janae? Just ask.
I will have to pull that up. For sure. I definitely will pull that up. If you give me a minute. But
no problem.
Hold on, y'all. As I'm pulling that up, though, I'm looking for something real quick because I want to show y'all something. Because remember, we're talking about the hold on. Yeah, here we go. So we're talking about divine masculinity. These are words that they're using. These are not words that I'm using, right? So they have now seen the light. They're so conscious. They're so great. They're healers and teachers. And Solar told me when he responded, you guys heard him, that pretty much it doesn't matter what he did in the past as long as he's growing and learning and has evolved into this great person that he is today. He's nothing but a chameleon. He likes to play. And y'all, people just sort of just like, okay, we'll play with you. We'll play with you, right? But I'm going to show y'all a clip of this young man who has now seen the light, who's so uplifted. But somehow, some way, he made another bad decision and he made another bad choice. This is quite recent. This is only a few months ago when your man was locked up, right? Your man got locked up because he was trying to traffic ganja, right? He was trafficking drugs across the Atlantic Ocean, and he was going, I think it was the United Kingdom or Great Britain. All right, I'm going to play that for you now. This just happened, and Janae bailed him out. This just happened. This didn't happen 2 years ago. I'm talking about like within the last few months. I'm going to show you that right now.
Wait a minute, Doc. So you saying Janae bailed him out?
Mm-hmm.
No, not Janae.
Yeah, Janae.
You
That's
did.
allegedly. I could be wrong, but yeah, she's the one who built them out.
I
Do
rest
y'all
my.
see this? Hold
They're
on.
back together. And that's one of the baby mamas.
I'm gonna say
Zelda is
allegedly
also
though.
one of his baby mamas. And I don't know if Zelda is. But
Hold on a second. Here we go.
yeah, he's definitely Velvet and Janae.
Oh. Boom. Hold on, y'all. Hold on. Hold on.
I'm just gonna say wow on that one, Dulcie.
This is crazy. This shit is crazy. But yet, this is the man. This is the young man, right? That Cube won a cape for. This is the young man that Cube was offended about. Not my brother. You're not gonna. All right, here we go. Tell me if I can hear it.
Allegedly trying to smuggle 150 pounds.
Hold on. Here we go.
150 pounds of marijuana. Four people are in custody after allegedly trying to smuggle 150 pounds of marijuana from the San Diego airport to London. According to a federal complaint, 2 men and 2 women were arrested by Customs and Border Protection on Tuesday after officers started investigating the men who each had a checked bag. After learning the men were also traveling with 2 women who also checked their luggage, officials found 93 packages of marijuana. Each suspect allegedly denied knowing what was in the suitcases, with one of the men saying that he was offered $2,500 to carry the case along with his flight to a hotel in London. All the suspects were charged with the exportation of a controlled substance. They're set to be in court next Wednesday.
On October 15th, just 2 weeks before Solar got arrested at the airport for smuggling drugs, he posted this video as a form of advertising, looking for people to help him smuggle drugs underneath the fake pretense of a business trip and all expense paid vacation and dream to travel around the world.
Oh, peace, everyone. Hey, if you trying to get some money with me and you trying to live in a beautiful tropical environment, ASAP, hit me up because I have some very beautiful opportunities for you to travel the world like me and make money like me. And you get to live in a very beautiful place if you choose to. I have opportunities for this as well. So those people who dream of living in nature and wanting to be in tune with nature and you just want to take a break or a vacation, now's the time to hit me up.
Do y'all hear that? Y'all heard that, right? This just happened. This is a few months ago, y'all. This is the young man that they caping for. This is the young man that's a divine masculine. This is the young man, right? That was on Sonetta TV, right? That everybody was defending. This is the young man. Okay, let's continue.
Dots, wait a minute, Dots. He still sound like he recruiting to me.
Still
sound like he's recruiting to me. Oh my goodness.
Right. Let's continue. One second. Okay, this is what I want to share. I'm gonna give y'all a quick synopsis breakdown. Okay, the next thing that I'm getting ready to share with you guys, right, is remember when I said that after Nature Nut was arrested, that Solar still was there, like he still was committed to Carbonation, throwing up 3, the whole 9, right, gang all day, right? That's what he was repping. And then all of a sudden he saw the light. Okay, however, during this period of Nature Boy being arrested until Sassy Solar turned tables, right, so that his ass don't get arrested and get held with charges, and he left the group. This is what he was doing during that time period, right? So he was trying to get Janae to pretty much forfeit on those charges that she brought forth, right? Because Nature Boy understood and he knew her love, her obsession that she had with Sassy Solar, okay, who's never really wanted her. He said it out his mouth many times, right? He's never really been, but she was really hard on him. And Nature Nut knew, well, the one way maybe to get her to change her mind is if I go through Sassy Solar. And Sassy Solar was more than happy to do his bidding, okay? Let's watch. One second. Share. I believe it's this one. Okay, here we go. So these are I'm going to show y'all the charges initially, okay? And then you're going to hear a phone conversation between Nature Boy and Solar, okay? When Nature Boy got locked up. Here we go. So these are the charges, y'all. Make sure y'all hitting the like button, y'all.
But that's for those who can't. Can you read it? Can you read them out? Can you hear?
All right, okay. Hold on. It was getting ready to play. 1 second. 1 second. 1 second. Hold on. 1 second, y'all. 1 second. Here we go. Here we go. Okay, it says, Eligio Bishop. Okay, the charges: prohibition on nude or sexually explicit electronic transmissions. The second one was prohibition on nude or sexually explicit electronic transmissions. Third charge: prohibition on nude or sexually explicit electronic transmissions. The next charge: grape. Next charge: false imprisonment. Pay attention to the conversation. Here we go. Here we go, y'all.
They're gonna all lie on me and they think that that's not called like come back on them.
We just got through talking about that.
That's crazy.
She can't take out God, my chief.
You think you can talk to her, Sola?
I mean, I could, but for what? Is she? I really think it's not just her. I think it's her, people putting a battery in her back, a couple of influence. I think it's a combination. Yeah, and she's a scapegoat to do it through. Right.
How do you live with yourself after that?
Can't. It's gonna haunt her life, Freddie.
Do y'all understand what y'all just heard?
I definitely do.
Okay, and understand that Solar, of course, is going to do his bidding, and that's what he started to do. Oh, I love you. Let's get back together. That type shit, right? Hoping that she stepped away or dropped the charges that she initially said. Okay, yeah. Nisha or Dulcie, do y'all want to say anything before I go to the next clip?
I just wish that clip was played on that show when it was up there. God dang it.
I know that's right. I do too.
Well, I wanted to say I wasn't allowed to respond. So if Nepal was doing what she was trying to keep everything good. It wasn't her fault. I do not blame Nepal at all. I'm not saying Nepal did that on purpose. I understood what she was doing. She was trying, I guess, quiet it down. But I was annoyed at the fact that I wasn't allowed to respond, right? Because Cube got to say whatever the hell he wanted to say, and I could not respond. And I wanted to play that. I was going to play that, but I wasn't allowed to respond. All right.
But that's wait a minute, let me say this. But did y'all hear what he said? He's pretty much saying that what she's saying was a lie. Because he's saying that he felt the boys were saying that somebody put a battery in her back and they're making her say it. Like they're pushing her into saying what they saying. And Bishop was saying, well, in other words, he's saying karma's a bee. Don't they think this gonna come back on them for what they're doing? Like as if she was straight lying pretty much to me. But you also heard the girls say that the courts would not allow them to show anything to prove that she was lying.
So, okay. So, this next clip is really important and it's really key because I want y'all to think about, what's the intention behind things that are done. When I showed y'all even with Sassy Solar, right? Like, did he really leave in defect from Carbonation because, he saw the light and now he's in his divine masculinity? Or is it, would he still have been there? So with Janae, right? She was going by Nateri at the time, the young lady. This clip is of the night. This is the night, if I'm not mistaken, that the graping happened. Okay, so what happened was, he was going live as always. This is, I think Janae returned. This might have been her third time coming back to Carbonation or whatever. And she wanted to be queen of Carbonation. She wanted I guess Malia's spot as quote unquote queen of Carbonation. And she's explaining the reasons why. Okay. Now, right before Janae came back, though, she did a whole press tour and a press run about, how now she has seen the light, how now she is a changed woman, how she wants the young ladies to look to her as the example, right? This is all the things that she said and then literally went back for the third time. All right. So let's hear. This is the night before he got arrested, when the grape, I believe, happened. The allegations happened. Here we go. One second, y'all. And I'm replaying this only so you guys can understand and have some more context as to why I said what I said when I hit the link. Okay, here we go.
Now, I'm not pissed off. I'm just a little disappointed, right? Because this is confusion, and this is what my man was saying. My man was saying she came here to cause trouble. It is a trouble. It's a trouble angle. Like this is a question mark. And I let you go do it.
And see what happens, you know. So it is what it is. At this point, you know, like I definitely feel like.
But you want to be with Solar? Let's keep it on the real.
One thing.
No.
I would love to express this. Mm-hmm. When we was having sex, right? When we were making love, something happened. I started to orgasm by the absolute truth. You know.
Excuse me.
By the absolute truth. Right,
you started to orgasm.
When I thought about the absolute truth, and I thought about me being the real queen, and I was just like,
well, how you could be the real queen and Solar's your side husband, your side nigga? He's a little snack.
Yeah. All right. Well, my philosophy, I definitely did research, and our ministry really did say that we're actually like complete, like the same soul, kind of, in a way. You know, it's like, how would I explain this? I really feel like that there's a lot of similarities, and we come from the same place, you know, astrologically. So yeah.
And he's from Atlanta, and you're from.
And he's born in.
You was born in Atlanta?
No, I was born in San Diego. This is my second home though.
He was born around sunrise.
I am. No, she knows who I am because she's had sex with me and felt my energy.
She didn't say that.
Tell him what you felt.
Look at him. Now he looking for some validation.
God. Like so many times we've made love, and definitely
look how fake this is. This is fake.
What he's talking about him being God.
She
and
faked it.
When you know, ejaculate and impregnate women, you said like there's a beam. I remember there was a beam at one time. The beam shot up and it's like, and I'm like
fake,
wow,
fake, fake.
This is God. This is the truth.
Okay, so you came back here for Solar again, but this time it was different. What happened?
Yo, I fell in love.
But you're not really in love with me. You just really
I
like.
actually like, yeah. I actually like you. I actually like your house.
Now you like me, but you didn't like me before.
Before I didn't see you.
Now you pushing 3.
But 3, you're not in love with Solar.
You're not in love with Solar no more?
Solar, there's nothing. There's absolutely nothing.
The female Solar, I can be goddess.
Yeah, but look how close he is.
Okay, so what I'm saying is that then this Solar
is a triangle. Like you're our God. Like you created us. You know, like I feel like we're just 2 parts of the same whole, but you're definitely the one who created us. We came through you, you're the source. And naturally, if I have a position, I'm gonna stand in my position, own my position. But we can't deny the.
Wait. Hold on. If I made you, did I make you to want Solar?
Yes.
So wait, I'm trying to understand. If I made you, how the fuck you want Solar?
Naturally, I would like to connect to the other half of me. You know, like everybody here we're the same souls in a soul group. I would naturally want to gravitate here to y'all as well. Like it's just it is what it is. I got a position. I have a role, and
you don't know what's wrong, right? Because we didn't go through this. We didn't.
My head plenty of time.
No, we already went through all of this already. But just like Malia.
Right, exactly.
No, I don't care. I don't want to go through this every time with you because see how it's a blind spot? It's a blind spot. You're doing this publicly. Like you just killed yourself publicly.
Why is
just like Malia did. You might as well just leave now. For real. real, you might as well just leave now, like Malia did. You just killed yourself. Malia killed herself yesterday. Now you just killed yourself just now. Do you know who the fuck I am?
Nobody. You ain't Solar.
Do you know who the fuck I am?
You're not Solar.
Who the fuck am I?
Not
who am
Solar.
I? No, who
You're
am
not
I?
Solar. You're not magical. That's who you're not.
No, who am I? Seriously. Do you know who I am?
Not Solar.
Who am I, Nateri?
Not Solar. You
No,
heard her.
what I want to know is, Nateri, who am I? Who am I? Hold on, shorty. Who am I?
Look how mad he got.
Excuse me? No, tell me who the fuck you think I am in your mind.
Not Solar. You're not magical.
Fuck that. Who the fuck do you think I am in your mind?
You're not familiar.
I need to know that right now. Yo, what? Bitches, you crazy? The fuck?
You said bitches.
No, hold on. You're my lover?
I want to quickly unpack this. Okay, this is okay. This is the same night that she left. So she thought this is, I think, her third time coming back. When she came back or whatever, she's always been in love with Solar, what have you, right? So she came back and she really thought in her mind that she wanted to be quote unquote queen. She wanted Malia's supposed spot, and she felt like she was deserving of it. And so Nature Boy was just playing with her the whole time, toying her along. Because right before she came back for this time, she was online, on the internet, on Bigo and everything, doing her press tour, talking about she wants young ladies to look to her as some type of example, right? And this is what pisses me off, because I take that very seriously, being a grown-ass woman, right? I know we all know a thing about healing. If one thing about healing is that you kind of have to be aware, right? And so he goes in on her on this night. Okay, he continues to publicly shame her and publicly embarrass her, unfortunately. But he's like, what is wrong with you? It's almost like you are a ditz. What, how are you in love with me? And then saying that you are in love with Solar at the same time. So after he publicly embarrassed her, that is when she left that night, right? And then a few days later, those allegations came to light about Nature Boy raping her. Okay. So there's a reason why I said what I said. My little 2-minute spiel when I hit the link or what have you. That's why I said what the fuck I said. And this is why I say real, recognize real. So this is my opinion. It's been my opinion. If any of you in this chat or whatever know anything about me when I had my channel, you know that I've sort of been saying what I'm saying now. Nothing has changed. It's just not a popular opinion, or maybe people don't feel comfortable coming out and saying it. Because when I did say my comment, there a lot of people in the chat was like, yeah, dots is connecting the dots. Dots is making sense. But people maybe they just don't have the heart or the confidence to say it because they don't want to be perceived as supporting Nature Boy. And I'm saying I don't give a fuck what none of y'all think. You heard? I recognize the game. And I also recognize when somebody is playing in your face. And so again, I ask for these two individuals, and the reason why I highlighted Solar and not Janae is because Solar is usually the one that's online, of course, trying to scam, trying to sell people hopes and dreams, right? He was trying to recruit. How are you trying to recruit people to traffic drugs? But this is the divine masculine that we're talking about. And so all of these things, all of these misdeeds, all of the abuses that has happened at the hands of Sassy Solar, right? All of the things that have occurred, should he not be held responsible, or is it all ignored and it's excused because he was in a cult?
Dots, can I ask a question? Did she or did she not just say when Eligio had came inside her, she had orgasms and stuff? So which one was she messing with? Because she just said that she was having sex and he was her lover. Mm-hmm. This is the night, and you also said she came back 3 times, and that's what I remember as well because I looked at the series. I don't understand this. This is, if they can't see there's something else behind this, then people are just blind.
And that's why I said, that's why I disagree with his plus 10.
Yes. I disagree with it. It ain't no way in this world. Girl, I'm going back on mute.
Well, I still agree, but I'm gonna say something about Janae. That's her name, Natiri Janae. One thing I'll say, and I think this applies to a lot of the women, and not necessarily Solar at this time. I'll get to Solar later. But just like women in a bad relationship in comparison to a cult. If you're in a bad relationship and you were there for some years, you need to sit down on that cooch and be at one with yourself the way you seeking to be at one with nature. You need to be at one with yourself for a little bit. And I think this is what the girls have been doing wrong, because all the girls have gone basically from either they've gone to Solar and had a baby with him, or they tried to get with Solar. He even said that in the interview. One of the other girls, I don't know which exactly one he was talking about. I think maybe he said at some point that Soka had tried to come and be with him at some point and leave. And he said it about another girl that he was like, he invited her and all this other stuff, but said he couldn't be with her at the time, so she didn't come. But for Janae, I know she put a lot of effort as far as to be like, because of all the sex and different things that were going on, and how they weren't actually caring for their bodies, that she had to do a lot of herbs, she had to do a lot of stuff to be on a healing journey. But I feel that same thing is needed with time alone. And with her coming out now to be like a teacher of young women, I'm not necessarily saying that's not your calling, Janae, to invoke power from young women. But first you have to envelop that power for yourself, and you can't envelop that power going from man to man, going from leader to leader, whatever. You have to take this time alone for yourself. I think she's a very beautiful young woman, but I think it's just that one thing as far as those type of girls that think, oh, I'm empowered because I left. And it's like, no, leaving is not enough. You need to take the time with yourself as well. And I can see that of her. If she's jumping too fast into, I want to write a book, I want to do this, I want to do that, and you're not taking the time to heal. And you have to.
Man, I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
This is weird.
No,
She's
go ahead,
weird.
Nisha. Nisha, go ahead, baby. Say what you got to say.
I'm
Weird.
saying, Dusty, I completely disagree with you.
100%.
Completely disagree. Janae is some bullshit. She plays mental games. She's some bullshit. She play a lot of mental games, and she think that it don't work so far with a lot of people. So she's looked at as this victim, but you can hear in certain shows that she be on, how she talk, what she really wants. This is all a game. And I think that her and Solar put it together that they can get all out the way. He could become chief. You know, that's why everybody was trying to get babies from Solar, so they know that he was gonna be next. But it didn't work out as they planned. But Janae some bullshit. For real, for real. And
No,
if
Anisha, I see that too. I'm just saying to see I think I can see some good in her. I understand what you're saying. I totally understand. And I'm not saying I'm in complete disagreement with what you're saying as far as it. But I do see some good in her as far as her intentions. Her intentions, but then I do see the other thing, like that she's just on bullshit. But I don't know when she came in. My impression was she was like Velvet. I don't know. Velvet came in when she was 17. She had a lot of family issues or whatever. These niggas are her first. I don't know if that's the same for Janae. But all I know is that stuff does a lot to your mind, all that she got going on. And all I'm saying is I don't think she's absolved from healing, but she does need to take the time to heal. Like, she can't just, because all this shit is just all parts of the mind games anyway. So if she really wants to be this this teacher that she wants to be, she needs to sit the fuck down and heal for a little bit. And not even a
You
little
can't
bit.
teach
Take
and
some
lie.
years.
You can't teach
What?
and lie. It's either one.
I
What
know.
you go? You can't teach and lie. You can't teach and lie. So come on, get
That's
yourself
a fact.
healing. You can't heal and lie. So what you doing? She's some
I agree
yelling.
with Nisha 100%.
But if you think if she sat down and stopped the line, because sitting down is stopping the line, stop the healing, and actually get within herself, she can't wake up to her true potential of what she is if she doesn't like just sit the fuck back for a little bit.
This is a game and a hustle.
That's it. And she knows she a liar. And she know it. I agree 100% with Nisha. Nisha took the words right out of my mouth. I agree 100%. They set that boy up. That's what I think. Straight up.
Exactly.
It don't make none of it. I hope karma punch them all in their stomach, face, back. That don't even make no. Did you hear everything? I'm so glad Dots played it. Damn. I'm so glad. So glad she played this stuff.
Well, I think they both can be manipulators at the time, but
she's a manipulating liar, and so is he. She is a manipulating liar, and so is he. And she's chasing. She's still messing with the guy to this day. And like that, and like she went back 3 times.
Well, here's the thing too, right? Sorry, Dulcie or Nisha, I apologize. Here's the thing, right? And this is, I agree, Nisha, with that, with how you said it. And this has always been my thing with her. Like, I'm like, yo, y'all don't see how she's playing in your face. First of all, the very last time that after Nature Boy was arrested or what have you, Janae was receiving a lot of support, a lot of they all are, but a lot of donations when she became pregnant with Sassy Solar's baby or whatever. You know, people are supporting, right? Because she's one that's, I am not going to be with an abuser. I know my worth, right? She does this whole press tour. This is what Janae does, okay? Because Solar then left her and he went to Velvet. So she was really hurt. She's pregnant. She's hurt, like any woman would be, I guess, right? But he is who he is, and she is who she is. And so basically, you know, a lot of people were supporting her on her quote unquote healing journey, right? And literally, after he got locked up in England, she allegedly bails him out, and then they do this Now press tour, and Solar and Janae are on live, and pretty much Janae is saying to her supporters, I don't care what any of y'all think, right? I know y'all don't want me to be with Solar, but this is the father of my child. I don't care what none of y'all think. We're back together, and what, right? But this is what they do. And so again, I say, where's the fucking accountability? But I can't even put it on them. I got to put it on the people who think that like they're doing something when they cape for these people. These are not babies. These are so just because I wasn't the person. So let's say I'm in a car and give me an example, y'all. Let's say I'm somebody is getting beat up in front of me. Let's say Freedom and I go somewhere and Freedom gets into a fight, and even though I'm not fighting, I'm there, right? I'm there. I'm not stopping it, right? I'm not stomping the person out. I'm letting Freedom do her big one, right? But I'm there. And let's say from that, the person who Freedom was fighting gets hurt badly, right? And all of a sudden now, Freedom is pressed with charges, but I'm there. I'm there. I did nothing to stop it. I did nothing to break it up. I saw where it was going. I recognized the fact that this was getting worse and worse, right? This is looking really bad, but I just stuck there. I ain't do nothing. Where's my responsibility?
Oh no, you getting charged too because you should have did something. If you already see that it was getting bad, too bad. Now, Sister Freedom already done her mouth bloody, everything it's all. Yeah, she about to die. You supposed to been had stepped in, so you are an accomplice. And in Georgia, you will be sentenced the same. So he better count his days. That Solar better count his days because he could be next. Ready they
Yeah.
will.
And so that goes to my question, right? About intention. What is the real motive behind him leaving? because you heard yourself, right? He was in contact with Nature Boy. He still was riding for him. Solar has always enjoyed the attention. Solar has always perceived himself as being somebody that's like smarter than everybody else, right? He really has a super ego. He really does. And I know we use that word narcissistic a lot. It's overused, but I mean, that is like case study. You know, he's the smartest, he's the brightest, he's the fastest, he's the one that makes the money, brings the money. So you just ratted yourself out. Those are criminal charges. How come you weren't charged? Oh, I forgot. He was in a cult. Nature
Right.
Boy.
And I think he has like a little aggrieved ex, a little bit he wanted to be the chief, like you said, in the place.
Yeah.
It's a little both as far as like this is Nature Boy's ex that we're talking about, Solar, as well. Like,
Okay.
so, I mean, that dynamic can't be misplaced as far as that they had a relationship beyond just a friendship, beyond just second in command and all that too. And he's working from that. I think he has his own motivations of that combined too. I think that could be why he's going for all the baby mamas, including to wanting to be him. But I will say I do agree with Nikki in the chat, and there's one thing I do agree that he even said. I think when these cult leaders try to go out after people and make them think they're the chosen people and all this other stuff, and able to get them on a certain path or anything like that of joining their cult, I think they mess up with who they're messing with, because karma is still real. So I do not feel bad when karma takes the place as a justice system or whatever. The fact of the matter is that he was on some BS. He was getting these people. He had that one Mama D or Mama Dia or whatever her name stopped taking her pills, where she died in the camp, and then he just threw her body at the hospital. Like, you can't keep fucking with people and think it not come back to you, even if it comes back to you in injustice, because injustice can be met with injustice. So I don't feel sorry for him, but it is a lot like the R. Kelly thing. Should he be alone? No, he shouldn't. He shouldn't be the only one that's getting the brunt of this. But unfortunately, we do have this part of society that is like, oh, okay, we got the big one. So now we're going to absolve that these mothers were sending the girls like it's a damn cult camp and they knew that their daughter was underage, but all they could think of is, how much money am I going to get if she's the next Aaliyah? So yes, I do not have respect for a lot of the other people either, but it doesn't absolve that I don't want to see this nigga on the streets for him to victimize the next group of people.
That's right.
Can I say this though, please? I'm just going to say this. He's not in jail because of the situation with the elderly lady. Am I correct to say that, Dot?
Right.
He's in jail for their untruth. Now, if he went to jail for the lady, that's one thing. But he's not in jail for that. He's in jail because of something that these people said, that them two people are said about him. And it just don't make no sense. I don't care how you swoop it, whoop it, troop it, turp turn it around. It just sounds like a manipulate, like almost like a setup. That's how it sounded to me. I mean, victimized. They made him a god. They did it. Did you see how the girl was sitting there doing her fingers, doing the little signs that they was making, how they would dress? They thought they were stars. And they still trying to like get a piggyback off of this man. She want to write a book. She want to do this. She want to be a teacher. A teacher? She sound like a weirdo. I would not want anybody to listen to her.
Bitch, who you
or
teaching?
him. What's she teaching? Lies and manipulation? I mean, none of it just don't make no sense. I don't care how you twist it around. He ain't get no life because of something that happened to this lady. They do this to our people all the time, though, whether we know this or not. This is what they do. And then we got people that say, similar to the things that you saying, Dulcie, and it, you know, just like with the R. Kelly situation, those young girls knew what they were doing. They knew it.
But your karma's not always gonna be fair. Your karma's not always gonna be this. You have to be careful of what you release, the chaos you release on the world. Because you can't release chaos on the world and then be like, but I want the right to be fair to me.
Chaos. They did their own chaos. That one man did it. All of them did it together. They were all there together. They were like in a little sex cult, they was doing what they was doing. And they were making things up as they was going along, like cheerleaders do. Them girls he wasn't telling them, no, y'all do this and y'all do that and y'all do this. No, they formed themselves together and sat down and said, we're going to do this. And we're going to move this way. And we're going to do this.
No, they didn't.
Yes, they did. I looked at the whole.
He was part of it. He was part of that part.
I said they all were. I said they all did it.
Well, you said it like they put the girls went on the side and said, we're going to do this. We're going to make him a god or anything like that.
Yes,
they did not. They did not. He was a part of all of that. Everything that they said he was a part of. So just like if you want them to have accountability, we can't take accountability from Nature Boy because he was a part of it. When they were like, you're God, he was like, yes, I am God. It was no point. He's like, no, I'm not a God. Y'all stop calling me a God. He was just there with it.
Somebody say, my man say, baby, you are my goddess. I'm going to say, yes, I am. And you are my God. Yes. What is he supposed to do? Say, no, I'm not. No, this is how they were playing it.
Yes, you say, no, I'm not Jesus. No, I did not come here to save you.
Well,
yes, you
we
can't
all know
say
what
that.
the real is. He on some conscious stuff. He don't know spook God. He's on man walking. We the creator of life type God. Stop playing. Now you playing head games. Because this is what time he's on. He's on a conscious reality time. He ain't on no spook stuff.
No, he not. He was on I'm Jesus.
No, wait.
Just the same as those white men that say I'm Jesus and you follow me. That's what the type of time he was on.
Because of the symbolism of it, not from the stuff.
I think no. Wait. I think hold up. I both of y'all, because both of y'all are making valid points. I want to be clear. I feel like Nature Boy definitely is mentally ill. He's definitely a psychopath. I have always felt that. I have always said that. He's delusional. He's mentally ill, right? And to Josie's point, and that's the beauty about karma. That's why karma is so. Freedom, you got to mute up. You have to mute up. And that's why karma is so powerful when it comes, because karma usually comes back. It doesn't come back in the shape and the form of the person probably that you expected to come back from, right? That's not how karma works. Right. So that is a good point, though. See, and I want to be very clear. By no means he is a fucking psychopath. I've always said that. That's not okay. But what I'm saying is when you are coming on these YouTube streets or on social media and you're still perpetrating a fraud and you are giving yourself titles that you've never earned, right? You take zero accountability. Okay. You only want to hear the good. And then you continue with fuck shit. Yes, there are going to be people who's going to question you and who's going to check you and who's going to say, nigga, I see right through you. You could play in the face of them, but you're not going to be able to play in the face of me. And when I say, and guess what? I said real, recognize real, but people feel energy. And like I said, it wasn't until Funky Ass Cube jumped in, right? That the conversation with Mixie, but for the most part, he was receiving it. You know, and my point is, should they be responsible for the acts that they've committed while they were there on others? I'm not talking about what Nature Boy did. So should Solar be held accountable for crossing state lines, for forging identification? All the things that he said he was. He said, I'm the real chief of Carbonation. Maybe we need to replay that again. But yet he's allowed to come before the people and get a platform, and everybody want to cape and jump in for him instead of being like, but bro, you said this, but your actions are not lining up. And we're not talking about when you were in Carbonation. Let's talk about what you've done since then. Where's the change? You're still on fuck shit. You're still on fuck. That's who you are. But that doesn't matter, y'all, because he was in a cult and he's brainwashed. So Solar can beat on Zoka, right? Because he was brainwashed and he was in a cult. and maybe I should look for that clip. I don't know if y'all want to see it or not, but Zoka was explaining the reasons why, because make no mistake about it, Solar has always wanted to be with Zoka. It's Zoka who has always said no. And one of the things, and this is true, I don't care what nobody say as a woman, right? A woman has to respect the man that they're with. A woman has to know without a shadow of a doubt that when I am in my man's presence, I feel protected, I feel safe, I know I'm good, right? That's just basic. Zoka has said time and time again out of her own mouth, right? The reason why she doesn't like Solar and the reason why she's going for Nature Boy is because she doesn't respect Solar. And then the next question is, why don't you respect Solar? Because he's not a man. He doesn't have that energy. What she's saying is, nigga, you never defended me. You never stood up for me. You allowed another man to give me a cup of alcohol. You allowed another man to have sex with me while I was pregnant. You did nothing to protect me. That is important. So I don't want there to be any type of blurred lines, because karma is karma and how you get it is how you get it. Had that fool took the plea deal, he would have done 7 years. He would have been out by now, more than likely on good behavior. And they were going to drop the raping charge. They only were going for the, I guess, illegal distribution, like, what do they call it? Like when you
Revenge
share
porn.
pictures, revenge
It
porn.
was going to be just revenge porn.
It was going to be just revenge porn, right? But this fool didn't want to take it because he felt like, I'm not guilty. And he went to trial, and this is how it played out. It is what the hell it is, right? I don't feel
What I
sorry for
heard
him.
too, he said that this is his Jesus moment, right? This is the cross, and then he's going to get resurrected. That's what I heard he's on right now. Is that this is going to be his 3 days, then he's going to come out resurrected, and everybody's going to know he's Jesus Christ. Is that how people? Yeah,
No,
that's what I got.
but yeah, no, you're right though. But that's what I'm saying. He's mentally ill. I don't know if you guys have ever heard him talk about this, but he often makes it seem like he served time in like a federal prison or like a state. He was in a psychiatric holding facility. That's what he's talking about. Right? He would often portray it as all the real niggas is in jail and prison. He was never that. He never was there. He was in a psychiatric hold. He was in a facility. He was, right? But it was for mentally ill patients. He has a problem. That's a fact. That's documented. That's documented. So what he's saying now, he's mentally ill. We all know that. But let's get back to these fools. Right? And the question I keep asking, should they be held accountable, or should their misdeeds just be ignored and forgotten? And should we be applauding like seals, right? Because now they've seen the light. They're playing in your face. But that's where my comment. Go ahead, Mama.
I'm sorry. No, just like I was saying in the message, when I actually looked at the show all the way through, and I seen what really irritated them is it's not necessarily what you said, it was the timing.
Right.
Because they had the kumbaya moment, yes, we love y'all, we're here, yeah, glad you got out of that, and then here you come. So it was more so of the timing, because everybody had done said they good little words and ending the show, and all this good fake stuff they be having going on over there. I don't even mess around, but so I ain't even watching. I ain't. But anyway, what is the timing? Because they was done with the show. They was done. But when the time that you came in and you hit them, oh yeah, that did it to her.
And it brought out what? Fat man came out with his Superman cape on. He was like, "Not my brother. You are not going to talk about my brother. That is my brother, nigga. Shut up. You're right. That is your brother. You right. Birds of a feather flock together. You are absolutely right. You are absolutely right. You're a weirdo too. You are a weirdo too. Okay. Dulcie, did you want me to play this clip?
Yeah, go ahead and play that. And then if we could go back to the thing, I wanted to get one thing that he said too in the original, but we'll go back to that.
So do you want?
after.
Yeah, I actually had that up too. So do you want me to play this one first, or do we want me to continue with the?
Play this one first. Play this one first for Solar.
Yes, Clement. This happened on Sai's channel, and this is not about signed HOK or anything like that. I'm talking about Q specifically, caping for a Negro. Well, birds of a feather flock together, right? They both weirdos. In our response, here we go. I hope y'all hitting that like button.
She's settling. That's all the way outside of her purpose. She teaches astrology, knows astrology, and knows she's doing the opposite of what she's supposed to do. Number one. Number two is that it's lazy to me because it doesn't require skills and upgrading more skills and making extra effort. Especially all you got to do is work with me. Me and you could get the bag, and we always do.
Yeah.
But you would rather not work on yourself where it really matters, which is what your spiritual journey is about. And you want to get the jobs and have this single mother persona because she knows that she's settling. That's all the way outside of her purpose.
Pause it. So this is about Janae. This is one of the points where they've already had the baby. They broke up. They're not together or anything. This is why I kind of alluded to the fact that I feel like Janae needs to sit down for a little bit because she's part of this too. I understand, but she just jumping from guy to guy. So anyway, Solar's here talking about how Janae, she knows enough. She don't need to take time with herself. She don't need to take time to heal. She just needs to be with me and let's get to this money and start teaching people. And that's why I'm like waiting for that to get on Solar's ass. So I do agree that Solar is, like I said, a mix of he wants to be the next Eligio and an aggrieved Eligio X. So that's why it's like baby mama to baby mama to baby mama, taking all his ex queens and being like, I want to make them a baby mama. And doing all the same replays. So I don't see him as some huge victim that other people are seeing or and all this other stuff. I don't know Janae's full story to be like how much games she's playing. I see she's playing games, but also I think she is attached to these niggas and she need to sit down because I think she's just really attached to them. But that's just my opinion that she never gonna see clearly as if she just jumping from the next ex Carbonation member to the next. But yeah, he not. He talks no different. This is crazy how he talks and all this other stuff. And you can tell there's no real healing. Like he's like, oh, I've taken accountability. Yes, you can say I've taken accountability, the words, but where are the actions of you taking accountability? I agree so much with what you said. It ain't about blaming him for what someone else did. It's about now, okay, what actions are you doing? What actions are you taking? And I don't even necessarily blame him for the actions he took within Carbonation. I can give him grace for that. But now that we outside Carbonation and we still doing the same thing, that's when the grace is kind of lacking for me. Because I would give you grace if you're inside a cult and you're doing these actions inside the cult. But now you're doing these actions outside the cult. After you're saying you've taken the time, you've healed, well, your actions are saying different. So that's my problem with these people.
That whole grace shit, it should be null and void, period, because he's showing you who he is. He's showing you exactly his purpose. He's intentionally. It is so funny that people play on people's minds and thinking that they can't see what's really going on. Like the interview he had after leaving. He already said, "Oh, I'm the big chief. I'm the man. I've been the man." So to me, I don't see what Grace could. No, he wasn't brainwashed. He saw sometimes people do some strange things for some change. So I don't see giving him grace at all. I don't see him being so brainwashed, so fooled, so tricked. And you out here, you supposedly done with the coke, but you out here still flim flamming. It was all a flim flam. Come on, Grace, well, he don't get none. Neither do Janae. Period.
Talk about it. They should be held accountable, especially you want to still playing people. And then you talking about you want young ladies to look to you, right? Because you are the example. What? No, I take that personal. The fuck? All right. So before we continue, I want for those of y'all who are just coming in, because again, to that point about giving grace or not, because you're right, Nisha, right? This is who this person is. Okay, so here's another recent video. I think this was around the time him and Velvet got together, which was last year. Okay, so again, let's hear just how brainwashed and how victimized and how powerless Sassy Solar was when he was in Carbonation, right? Because the big bad werewolf made him do everything. He had no power. Here we go. Let's hear it out of his mouth.
The way I believe is that everybody puts their crown on. Everybody gains the ability to call themselves whatever they want to call themselves, whether you call yourself a king, a wizard, a sorcerer, just a regular person, whatever you want to call yourself, go ahead. As long as you claim your power, as long as you claim who you are, you claim your ego. You see, I created something called soul redemption, sovereignty in all dimensions, supreme control of your soul, in the state of supreme control of your being, your mind, your soul, complete coherence with your astral body, yourself, and your cells.
He said he created that, right? Like nobody knew that before him. I digress. Sorry.
My book list is books you can give children. I'll get children's version because it's easy as 1, 2, 3. So it's only 3 books. It's all you'll need. 360 vision, knowledge of the 12, soul system. We're changing the world. If you don't believe me, just sit back and watch. If you believe me, then stand up and teach. It's up. Gemini 12th house. Sun and Mercury. Venus Taurus 11th house. Just like yay. Just like yay. It's up. We working. I don't know what y'all think we doing. We working. I'm working over here. I was inspired. Very inspired. And I just remember I'm the chief of Carbonation. If you don't believe me, you don't believe I'm the chief of Carbonation? Is the history not enough? If you who've ever been there with me, is that not enough what I've done for the family? How I've been able to maneuver us, how I've been able to secure these houses, how I've been able to get us through these borders, how I've been able to get him out of jail, how I've been able to heal y'all through everything y'all have gone through, how I've been able to teach in the shadows, how I've been able to inspire and live, to get y'all to leave, to get y'all to use your own light. That wasn't John the Baptist. That wasn't Jesus. That was the Antichrist.
I wanted to replay that just for some of those who may have missed that. Okay. But this is the and shout out to Tony T, my sis. That's where I got the clip from. But this is the powerless. This is the victim. This is the person who did everything because Nature Boy told him so. Does that sound like somebody who had no power in Carbonation? And this is done after Nature Boy got locked up. He has consistently told y'all who he is, right? And this is who we're defending. This is who y'all are applauding for. Because again, all it takes is for one of them to say, I hate Nature Boy, and everybody flocks and everyone starts saying that they've been praying for this. And this is how I know that people do not have discernment. And it's usually the people who talk a lot that have no discernment. This is who y'all protecting.
I protect him. He sounds crazy. He sounds just like he just sounds like a manipulator. He wanted to be chief. I don't even think he got the swag Nature Boy had, but he that's why he wasn't the leader. But he wanted to be. And he's still trying to be. he wanted to be, and he's still trying to be.
Yep. Yep.
He wants that same, he wants the popularity that Nature Boy had, even to this day, and he just doesn't have it. It's just not for him. And he was messing with Velvet too. Girl, he really want to be him so bad. Talking about jealousy. People that are jealous are conniving. People, when they jealous of you, they are conniving. And they will do stuff just like what they did and got that boy locked up.
But he said he had him first, though.
Who?
That's what he said. He said
He
had
said
him
he had
first.
the girls or Nature Boy.
No,
No,
the girls. He had them first.
See? Because so his envy, he was jealous.
No, Solar, but it's not right. It could be a number of things, right? But but what I do know is that, unless I'm wrong, but is that divine masculinity? Is that somebody who's balancing?
No, it's not. It's weak. Is weak.
This somebody? Right.
But he had them first. True. It's true, because he was the first. He was the first trans woman. Not that he was like the queen. Okay, that's the truth of this. He was Nature Boy's, not right hand man, not whatever. He was Nature Boy's. So that's why I say I can see the dynamic of both playing in. Of this is like revenge on an ex and this. Because yes, Nature Boy did send all these girls to go through Solar and then took the girls back. But in the meantime, him and Solar were always a thing.
Wait a minute, I'm confused, Dulcie. What you mean? Like
they were an item the whole time. They were having sex, him and Solar.
Oh my God. Let me go become mute.
Did they look at Ruthless? But the Tyler Perry show? I swear it sounds like Ruthless. Oh my gosh.
Yes. Yeah. Oh my God. Yes. It do, Niche. Wow. Ain't that something?
That's why I laughed a little when she called him sassy Solar, because it be coming out. You be seeing the little.
I didn't know. Yeah,
it be coming out.
Like, is she mean it? Do she mean it, or is that really his name?
Yeah, she meant it. I mean, like, he in the background. I didn't know about the mental illness until now, Dots, that you were saying, but I knew that he had come up as a boy toy in the sex community, and I'm not talking about Solar. I'm talking about Nature Boy at this time. He had come out like that's how he used to make money, is that he was a boy toy.
Crazy, right? Okay.
Well, so I think a lot of them have mental illness. I'll leave it at that. And I'm not saying that the sexuality is a mental illness. I'm saying that they're not admitting to the sexuality, the what y'all got going on, the gods, being a god instead of just being like, I'm bisexual and normal. Like, all this is a mental illness.
Well, he sounds like he's a sociopath and a narcissist to me, but not psychopath, because he was very intelligent enough to make them fools do what he wanted to do. So he was maybe a sociopath, and he was a narcissist and a manipulator and cunning. But but they wanted that, what they got. They wanted that. They wanted all that. They wanted that to happen.
I mean, that's going to, I wouldn't say that, right? Because I think that there is a piece to be made. I mean, there is something to be said about, they are young, right? Men and women who I do believe that they felt like, okay, this is something new. Maybe this is something revolutionary. This is something, you know what I'm saying? I don't think that, I would hope that people don't get into situations, right? Knowing and expecting or wanting to be hurt, abused in any kind of way, right? But however, once those things are revealed to you, right? Over and over and over and over and over and over and over again, at what point does it then become, okay, I see what's going on, I recognize it, I acknowledge it, and I'm still participating in it. For me, that's the bigger picture. And again, all of these things that Solar was happy to tell people, right? Because even after he did this live, people was coming at him like, yo, you're complicit too. You should be held accountable too, right? And then he started tweaking it and changing his tune just a little bit, right? But a person always is going to tell you who they are. And Solar believes that he is the smartest person in the fucking world. And you heard him. He's the reason why these women finally left. He's the reason. He's the reason. So then why are you not held responsible?
He can't be that smart because we can see straight through him, and what none of us in Carbonation.
I don't get it.
We see straight through him, right? Yo, we see straight through him. Niche, come on, it's obvious.
But I guess my question would be, because like I said, I know Velvet was from a very broken place. And then she's 17 when she found Nature Boy and Carbonation and all this
Disobedient
other
little
stuff.
girl. She was a disobedient little girl.
Well, I say
Period.
broken because she did not have the parental care like that. She came from a broken family. So I don't know how many. Yeah, Velvet came from a broken family.
Well, whatever.
When she came to Carbonation, she was from a broken family.
You
I
sound
don't
like
know how it is.
these teenagers that disobedient and don't do what their parents tell them to do.
She didn't have parents caring what she said she to
came
do.
there to try to fight that man over her to try to
I'm
get her
just
back.
saying about Velvet's real story, okay? I understand that you can feel some type of way or anything, but I think her mom was non-existent in her life altogether, and something was up with her dad, where her dad was in and out of her life. So when I say that she came from a broken home, I'm saying for her actual story, not from a fake thing, not that she had a two-parent home that actually cared and she ran away. No, her mom was not in her life at all, and her dad was in and out her life when she came to Carbonation. I don't know about the other girls. I don't know about Janae. Does anybody know?
I don't remember that. I got to go back and find that. From my understanding, she just was a little girl that was this. No.
This is what I got from my research as far as researching it and what was happening as far as from her. So this is research and things that I heard as far as from her mouth directly. I'm a believer when she's saying that her mom was not in her life and her dad was in and out. I believe her on that. I have no reason not to. Do we know with Janae or any of the other girls, because a lot of them are coming in at like 16, 17. Were they coming from broken homes, or Janae just is like rebellious? Or I know you said one mother you knew as far as with Carbonation, but do you have any kind of information on that, Dots?
That would say that if what?
If they're coming from, if they're like rebelling against their parents, if they're coming from broken homes, different things like that. Did you hear anything about the other girls when it comes to that?
Yeah. A lot of them had those types of like mommy daddy issues. A lot of them, I know Velvet had both of her parents. They weren't together, but from my understanding, that she had access to both of them. But many of them, I know Janae didn't get along with her dad. I think that she had a strange relationship, or has a strange relationship with her father. A lot of them did. A lot of them, but I mean, what does that mean, right? Because like technically, I came from a broken home. I didn't grow up with my dad in the house. I grew up around a lot of dysfunction, But I mean, listen, it's a choice. I get it that they were young, and I would extend great. And I do believe that these young men and women, when they joined, they had good intentions, right? They really felt like, yo, this is something revolutionary and I want to be a part of it. I get all of that. What I don't get is the excuse of criminal behavior and the hypocrisy around that. I think it's very hypocritical, especially when you have somebody who has said out of his own mouth proudly that he's the real chief of Carbonation. That's not a lie. That's how he feels, and that's how he's felt. I'm gonna play some.
You shouldn't have got, and Dash, you shouldn't have got cussed out for telling the truth either. You shouldn't have got called names and all that. But I guess we'll go into that later.
Yeah. Do y'all want to hear him cursing? I know, right? Yeah, I got to call all kind of names. All right, hold on. Let me play it. 1 second, y'all.
So what they say about Carbonation and why did everybody go? Everybody went for different reasons. Yes, when we look at it in retrospect, they're rooted in traumas. My trauma, why I would have went, was because I wanted a family. I wanted brothers. I wanted sisters. I wanted friends who thought the way that I thought, who could see past the surface of the matrix that we live in, and wanted to do something about it. And, I went because I felt like Eligio was somebody who might be able to understand what I understand and how I think. So Zoka was another person like this. She's from LA. And I was speaking with her for a while. And after a lot of different situations, a long time, and we were in Panama, I went and picked her up from the airport, and me and her were just absolutely in love for so long. You know, before, after, I would be on the phone with her all night. You know, I'd sneak away from the group just to go be on the phone with her. And, you know, after a while, we finally got the approval for her to come. And so we picked her up from Panama City, and that's when she joined. And the thing about, and Zoko's been my main wife, that child that everybody speaks on, that, you know, he poisoned, you know, behind my back as well, which I found out after I left. You know, I'm the father of that child. And, you know, while everybody was calling that child a demon and everyone is being told that and convinced of that, me and Zoko are having private talks all the time where I'm reassuring her that is not the case. He's just saying that for the people. He's just trying to get attention. We have a beautiful child. And Eligio would tell us on the side as well, like, Solar, come here, man. Let me talk to you. Look, you really think that I think your child's a demon? You are the smartest man I got here. We need as many Solars as possible. As a matter of fact, I need you to have as many wives as possible. And he would tell me this. And I'm like, oh, this is just a show for the people. Oh, we good. We're good. And so I'm moving forward with this thinking everything's cool. So I share that trauma with Zoka of our loss, a full 9 months, me thinking everything's perfectly healthy. And then in Puerto Rico, we have a stillborn child. You know, I held my first child ever in my arms.
Hold on, y'all. I gotta speed this up because hold on, y'all. Let me speed this up. This is when Efaru came on. That's important. 1 second, y'all. So Efaru is still proclaiming Nature Boy as the Christ, right? She's still fully committed, or what have you. Okay, so let's hear what she said. And she was talking to Janae. Let's go.
Proud to say it because it actually happened. I was partaking in the verbal abuse when it comes down to that, and I was told to go hit her, but I've never hit her. I've never hit anyone in that cult.
And you were directed to do the holding and the verbal. Was that a direction?
I was directed to go get her and go beat her ass.
Oh wow. Okay.
So
can I ask something?
Sure. I was just gonna say, I want everybody just to meet up for a second. Now, Efaru, go ahead. You can ask a question, but if you want to respond to that, you can definitely do so. Go ahead.
Okay. I just want to understand, because from my perspective, Natiri, you were screaming on her saying, you know what? Okay. When I heard the detective interview, you said that you gave it to him because you cared about him. That's emotion. That's feelings. That's seeing him and knowing him for who he truly is, who sparked you to go to Thailand in your journey. You seeing who he truly is. So I'm trying to figure out, how did it go from that to this, from his whole life, sentenced to life plus 10 years? Do you think that was necessary?
Okay,
absolutely.
Absolutely. Hold on. We're going to have her address. You have 2 questions. So let her. Okay, let me let her address the first question about you said you love him, because that's important. I'm sure she wants to touch on that. Go ahead.
To add to that. One more.
Yeah, hold it. So she won't forget. Let's let her answer that question, and then you can come in and continue. So she was asking you, why did if you say it wasn't consensual, right, Efaru? Why did you say you love him? Can you explain that to her in the audience? I'm gonna let you take your time.
Yeah. Basically, when I told the police that I gave it to him because I cared about him. We all have, especially cult members, have a sense of loyalty to a degree, even though it hurts us. So even in that moment, I was trying to, in a way, protect him, but at the same time, I wasn't. So in that sense, yeah, I did care about Eligio, but it doesn't negate the fact that I did say no. And I did not want to have sex with him. So I was trying to let them know that I cared about him, and I was blaming myself that we usually do in carbonation is put blame on ourselves. But after understanding what actually happened to me, I know for a fact that, yeah, I did care about him, but it doesn't mean that he had the right to take things from me.
Okay, thank you, Janae. Now, what was your second question before you get to your third? What was your next question, Efaru?
In the article, you said that when you seen the rape charge, you said, what? He never raped me.
Mm-hmm.
What
In
about
the
that?
article,
You got
in
his
the
name
article,
tatted on your butt.
Wait, hold on. Let me do this because I want to keep this very organized. Now,
yeah,
I don't know if you've addressed her before, if you guys have spoken since Carbonation. Number one, she's not on trial. I do want you to ask your questions. She's not on trial.
This is the piece that I disagree with in term with to be quite honest with Nepal, right? Where I felt like instead of just letting Efaru and Janae have that conversation, you know, she pretty much was protecting Janae, right? It's almost like, oh, don't ask her that. She's not on retrial. Efaru wasn't rude. Efaru wasn't disrespectful, right? I'm really curious. Efaru is saying to you, like, oh, I have these questions. And she's saying to her, so why would you say that? Why would you say that y'all made love? Or, you know what I'm saying? Like, what is that? You have his name tatted on your behind. Like, what are we doing right here? I would have been really interested in hearing Janae's answer. We didn't get one though, right? But let's continue. I think that Nepal should have allowed them to continue having that conversation. But that's just my opinion.
About her, especially since the trial was already done. I prefer her not to answer questions that have to do with this paperwork. She's not saying this. For me and for the platform, I want you to focus on your relationship with her, if you can, Efaru. That was stemmed around Alicio, Nature Boy. Can you talk about those things? What was your friendship or your sisterhood or relationship like? Because at the end of the day, that's the most important thing that you two should focus on, and how she feels about how you treat her. You get what I'm saying? So is that okay with you, Janae? Is that okay with you, Efaru? I want to see what was your relationship with this woman all those years that you don't even believe anything she says, not one word. You think she's just completely lying.
Because we were actually close. We were actually close. I was there. The whole time. I seen them go into the room. And my last question before we get into that is, we're talking about all this violence, but Natiri, you said that Solar was violent towards you and threw you across the room. And
we're not deflecting. Don't respond to that. No.
You see? That's not right.
Why is that justified?
This isn't because you know why? Efaru.
Actually, that is a very good question. That is
all of her questions was good. All of her questions was good.
And not only did she identify Solar as being violent towards her, right? She also mentioned something to the effect of him spitting in her face. She also mentioned the fact that he took her information or used her social or some kind of her identity, like identity fraud or whatever, right? She has said a lot of things that Solar has done. Many of the things that Nature Boy has been charged with, Solar is right there, and he's done it to Zoka, he's done it to Janae. Both of them have said that out of their mouth. Why is that not a good question? What was the reason to interject? But this is what the public does, unfortunately, because it does not matter. It doesn't matter if you lied. It doesn't matter if you were an abuser yourself. It doesn't matter. All you have to say is, I hate Nature Boy and I'm done with Carbonation, and all your sins can be forgiven. But that's not how the real world works. That's not how karma works. That's not how that shit go. You're not forgiven for your misdeeds because you're deflecting and you're putting all of your bad actions on somebody else. I just don't understand that logic.
Can you do me a favor? I watched a couple things on you. I need to focus on you for 1 second. I watched you on a couple of the clips that I watched on the, I think it's called The Tea. She covers all the Carbonation stuff. And I want to know from you. Then I'm gonna get back to Janae. I want to know from you those moments when you ran away. That was you inside after you had been there for a while, right? When you ran away, what was going on with you that made you run? And then when you were gone, when he talked about you like a dog, I was in tears. Well, when he talked about you like a dog on that phone, why did you go back? Talk to me about why you left.
First of all, I never ran away. Second of all, those not the charges.
No. I want to talk to you
though.
though.
Anything to do with the charges? He is an innocent man.
Okay.
He didn't rape anybody. He doesn't false imprison anybody. Natiri had a relationship with him and was going back and forth in and out of his life. She could leave whenever she wanted.
I know, Efaru.
It's
we
really
understand.
sad to see you like this still.
Let her talk.
It's sad to see you like this.
No, it's okay because she know better. She can't.
No. See, this is the thing. I'm gonna let Janae. Janae, don't get triggered by that because Efaru. But Efaru, everything you said,
resurrected, and when the truth is exposed and he come out, keep that.
Are you getting ready to leave? Is this your closeout? You're gonna leave after you say all that? Because I just want you to hold on a second. This is the thing. When you don't have to leave, but I'm just saying this is the thing. Everyone knows he's in prison. Please don't interrupt me. I don't want to. This guy who's supposed to be so loving and kind, you're in here because I.
Okay, I'm gonna stop it. I don't want to listen to the rest of that.
Yes.
I can't. I can't.
But didn't you hear when he had said, "Oh, she know better"?
I need you to stop it too. Really, God.
Yeah. Oh, she know better. That's right now. That's how an abusive man talk. She know better. She know better.
And so
I'm glad you played all of this, Dots. I'm so glad you did because it's so clear to me.
So, I don't know. I don't necessarily need. I mean, do y'all ladies want me to play when Q continued to crash out and Cape for Sassy Solar? Or do you think we could like that?
Show?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, do that.
You're talking about on Cube's show when he went on there.
Mm-hmm.
Cube went on there. Yeah, please play that.
He felt so offended, right? Okay. But so I'm gonna have to play it from my phone because so you're gonna have to listen to the audio. 1 second. And so hold on, y'all. Let me pull that up. 1 second.
Take your time. Crazy, man. I don't understand. It was hard getting through it and looking at that show, but I needed to get it so I could be informed.
Yeah. Or I mean, really and truly, you have to just laugh, because you're just like, yo, these people crazy. Hold on, y'all. Which one is it? The first or the second?
But usually cults are like that. I watch a lot of cults, so they're like that. If you ever watch the Mormons and all this other stuff, I always want to say Jeffrey Epstein's, but it's Warren Jeffs. And all of them, it's always like that.
Yeah. All right. I haven't pulled up. I'm going to play the audio, y'all, because I can't. Hold on, y'all. Tell me if I can hear it.
She didn't do that to the young sister.
Can y'all hear it?
She's aiming all of this vitriol at the young brother. Let's go.
Do y'all hear it?
Another treated somebody.
Yeah.
You are responsible for only you and what you chose to do or not do.
So now what she's saying is, she's levying saying, hey, you're responsible for what you chose to do and what you chose not to do. She never told the young sister. The young sister said on here, everybody gave her a praise and worship service. Nobody said anything like that to that young sister. Nobody did it. And you know what? If I would have came on there and said, hey, young sister Janae, I blame you for what happened, you niggas would have been on my motherfucking neck. And you would have said, how the hell, Q? How you gonna get on this girl? She fell victim on it. But let's go.
me, in my opinion. And I have seen this a lot, you know, when you heard you say, as well as Janae, I've just started your process.
And see, this is what incensed me. This is what incensed me. It's because she directly attacked this young brother. She directly attacked this young brother. She didn't levy these attacks to that young girl. She didn't say, hey, well, you know what, I understand that, you know, this happened with you and Nature Boy and all this. No. But she did that with him. That's why I said, hold the fuck on, bitch. Who the fuck you think you're talking to? How are you going to attack this young brother when he came out with his story? This young sister came out with her story, but you're attacking him. How is that possible that you can fucking do that? This is what happened.
Because I can.
Now, what I want you to tell
And
me
I
is
did.
that I'm crazy and I don't know what the fuck I'm
And
talking
what you
about.
gonna do about it?
You crazy and don't know what the fuck you talking about.
Over and over, attack this young brother. But there's a reason why she left. It's because she doesn't want to hold this fucking Dots character, and she doesn't want to take her to task.
Now he's talking about
doesn't
Sakina.
want to take this
He's talking about me, right?
Patina.
This Dots character was wrong.
Or maybe it was you. I don't know.
This fucking Dots character was
It was
wrong.
me.
No, it was Sakina at the time. He asked directly as far as Sakina, you were wrong. She wouldn't say.
Character.
No, Sakina was.
Wait, y'all, wait.
Pointing shit out and saying, yo, what's going on? And now we don't want to talk about this Dots character. Even when I come on and I say, hey, I apologize to this Dots character. Hey, I apologize. Even that's not even good enough for them. They still want to leave and run and say, oh, no.
I told you he was talking about me because that's what happened.
No, he's talking about you and Sakina, not just you.
No, he's just talking about me because Sakina was still up there when I left.
No, she had left by this time.
I shouldn't have.
I watched it all the way till old girl comes up.
So
Mika
did
won.
it was, never mind. God.
Because I respect her enough to say, damn, you know what? Let me apologize.
Yo, your man is the
But when I
definition
put this shit in their motherfucking face, they take off and they run. Because you know what? These motherfuckers don't have no goddamn integrity. They can't even tell they can't even tell the woman Dots that she's wrong. They can't even tell the woman Dots, like, yo, you're wrong. You never got out of my body to say those things. I said never did. But once I do that, they still can't even hold this woman and tell her, hey, well, Cube apologized. Cube.
Nigga, fuck. Excuse my language. No, I don't even know why you're apologizing. I don't respect you. I don't like you. There's nothing to apologize for. And like I said before, I have great discernment and I know when somebody's playing in my face. So you and your sorry, you didn't really mean it, because 5 seconds later, I was back to being called the BITCH. My question though is, why were you so triggered? Why were you so how did this become your problem? How did this become like your community service? So you're right. We're not the same. We are not the same, right? Because any man that gravitates to the likes of Sassy Solar, I have questions.
Well, can I say? Sorry. I'm gonna say this. When I got on Cube's show after he acted like a total asshole, okay? I mean a total chafed asshole, right? Because see, Cube to me has issues mentally pertaining to women. Okay, I mean, he damn near cried on the channel if anybody saw it. I'm the one that went up there and pretty much made him apologize. When Sakina was talking, she was pretty much, from what I get, she was acting like it appears she was kind of mad with me because I said what I felt like I was being sneak dissed. You know what I'm saying? I didn't know what was going on. I was taken up for this situation because I felt that it was wrong. But that it ain't even really about me. It's about him and how he comes out his mouth and disrespects women. I mean, he does it all the time. I've been called bitches, from out this man's mouth. I mean, it doesn't even make any sense because you had an opinion that you had to be called all kind of bitches and all that stuff. I mean, that it just didn't make no sense to me. This is a grown man. I mean, well, you could have came on there and said he had about 7 dreads in his hair. He has no neck, a big pregnant looking belly. There was a bunch of stuff that you could have said. And, you still haven't really went, like, I know you can go in on him. You know what I'm saying? Like, you could have said a whole bunch of stuff. I mean, it was crazy to me. Any male that acts like that to me is not a man, but just a male. And that's my opinion. That's all I had to say. But no, that wasn't when Sakina was still on there when I left, and he was saying I left off, and she's mad. She can't even accept it. I said I apologize and all this here kind of stuff. She was still on there.
But by this time, she's not, because like Ebony Knowledge said, she was in the chat too. By this time, she's not, and that's when, because
Ebony
when you came out, one second, Sister Freedom, when you had left, he was still like, that woman, and trying not to call dots a BITCH.
Right.
But then he asked Sakina for point blank to be like, was I wrong? Is she not holding it accountable? And I don't know. Sakina said it. Sakina might have even said, yeah, Dots is wrong. But you know how Sakina says it.
She's
it's not gonna be like, yeah, he's not going to be. So that triggered him. And then he was like, fuck that. She back to being a BITCH. Y'all don't want to hold no women accountable. And Sakina had dropped, and he's like, see, that's why I left. And he went on a rant for about, I don't even know, an hour or so before Mika even came on. And Mika he kind of just said what he wanted to say as far as what Dot's response was, without really playing the full context of everything to get Mika to kind of agree with them. But even Mika was like, it sounds like you're overreacting.
But listen, I just want to know, did y'all hear him? Did y'all hear him when he was saying, fuck you women? Mm-hmm. I don't want to listen to you women. You bitches, you hoes. I hate y'all.
Fuck y'all.
Bitches. Yeah, I hate y'all. I hate you. I hate you. Oh, fuck you, bitches.
Yeah.
You damn women. I hate you women. I mean, over and over and over. Damn women.
We were cracking up.
Yo, man, I hate you hoes.
I hate y'all bitches.
They got an opinion, man. I was like, what is going on here?
The man crashed out.
People in the chat saying this is personal.
Yo.
I mean, this
he had finished the bottle by then. Whatever he was drinking.
I almost felt sorry for him. Like, damn.
Who hurt you, bro? Like,
are you serious? Are you damn women?
I hate y'all.
You're always doing something. But it sounded like he wanted to say, you're always doing something to me, man. You're always saying no to me.
He did. At some point, he was like, y'all always something to me. He didn't say doing something to me, but he brought himself into it. At some point, he said me. And I'm like, dang, it ain't even about Solar anymore. It had completely changed. He was remembering about something else.
Get out of my chat. Leave my chat.
Say it again.
Get out of my chat. Leave my chat. Fuck all y'all hoes.
She told me no again. Damn it. Darn it, man. I hate you women. You hoes. You bitches. Stop saying no to me, please.
Yo, your man had a full meltdown. Your man was.
Girl, I was on the floor. I said this. I can't do it.
No, but thank you, because you had us on the floor. Me, Freedom, and Dulcie, we had, real tears. We was laughing so hard at you cracking out.
Hold on, y'all. But Bad Hombre, Cube is a red pillar. He's not a simp. He's a red pillar.
I got a picture of Cube because I think he was calling somebody ugly. Me and my Soldier Boy voice, ugly.
Yes.
Oh yeah, that was one. That's okay. Let me address that because he's like, I would never touch you with somebody else's dick. I just find it funny how no. But why is it?
He kept calling Doc fat. He said,
why is it that the niggas that you don't want to touch their dick always say that? I don't understand. I've never heard a fine ass nigga say that phrase. Never in my life have I seen anyone that is one you would want to fuck them say, I wouldn't fuck you with someone else's dick. I've never seen it. All I see is ugly, fat, sloppy niggas that you would not touch their dick for any reason, no matter the amount they offered to pay to say that. And it's like, why? Men need to explain that to me. Bad Hombre, explain that to me. Why is it that the niggas that you would just not want to fuck at all use that phrase? Explain to me what niggas use that phrase. I know. So that's why I'm asking them, like, what makes a nigga use that phrase? I would not touch you with someone else's dick. Please explain it to me.
And why that happened? I want to show y'all. In case, see now, just real quickly, y'all.
Just imagine him standing in the mirror.
Don't feel bad if you don't know. Don't feel bad if you don't know who Cube is, because really nobody really knows who he is. He really is a nobody. And even though he kept on trying to plug his whack ass lackluster show, like, yo, after this, I'm gonna have my own show. Make sure y'all come to my channel. No one came. You know why no one came? Because no one cares. No one cares about you, Cube. No one cares what you have to say, Cube. No one fucking cares. So let's see the man who crashed out. Okay, let's see the man who had a whole emotional meltdown. And God tell me, he has the fucking nerve. This nigga has never had a woman that wanted him. You always got to pay for it. You and I both know that. Hold on.
People mad because they had a baby bump.
I'm gonna have to pay. Nobody's touching this. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this disaster. Look at this. Look. This is who was talking, y'all. Look at this disaster. The 10 to 15 dreads he have left on his head don't even like
I don't understand.
His hairline starts where his ear begins. The nerve. Do y'all see this weirdo? Can y'all imagine how that gaming chair smell? He looked dirty. He sound dirty. This is the most attention that he's ever gotten, especially from 4 women at a time. He ain't never had this experience of 4 ladies at one time paying him any kind of attention. A whole fucking weirdo. Look at this weirdo. The nerve, the unmitigated nerve. You know what? He definitely looks like the direct descendant of Lucy, the great ape. He definitely is Lucy's direct descendant. Look at his face. Look at the disaster that's in front of us.
I want him to move.
And you know what they say about a man with small hands. The Lucy is even bigger than his hand. He's smoking a Lucy, y'all. Yo, the cigarette is bigger than his own fucking hands. What that say?
Is that hair on his neck? Are you serious?
No, Sharice. Imagine how that fucking gaming chair smell. Just imagine it. Look at this clown. A nothing ass nobody. And this is the most attention that he's ever going to get from 4 women at one time. That's a straight fact. But just know that your crash out, Q, thank you so much, because you had us in tears. We were hollering. That shit was the funniest thing I ever witnessed in my life. Your man was screaming at the top of his lungs. Fuck Fuck y'all hoes. Fuck y'all bitches. I hate y'all. I hate y'all dumb bitches. I don't like it anymore.
I hate y'all. I hate y'all. I hate y'all, man. I hate y'all.
I hate
And if he's saying you don't got nothing where he's standing up, because he's about to have that baby. He's about to have that baby. But when he called you fat, guys, you was fat. I was done.
Hilarious.
That's crazy.
Oh my gosh. Thank you for allowing us to laugh at you, bro.
All that yeast in his stomach. Ew, smoking yeast in that belly. Ew.
Even his hairline know it. Even his hairline is trying to run. You see where that shit started?
Damn, Lucy, then his hairline's running from his face.
Man,
over here. I wasn't prepared.
He got sunglasses on, y'all, in the house. Who does that?
He fucking weirdo.
Oh my God.
That's wait, does he? Oh yeah, he has sunglasses. I was like, is that the edit? No, I can't tell. Those sunglasses may be edited or not. I can't tell. But this is the first person that's like filter. Like he's literally good at computer edits. He does that for a living. He should do more.
Right. Stay behind the scenes, bro. Stay behind the scenes. Just stay behind the scenes. But it's usually people like this, right? Nothing ask nobody, right? It's usually men who don't know what it's like. He will never know what it feels like to be the one. This nigga has never had the experience of walking into a room and having people look up and say, "Oh, who is that?" Nobody's ever done that to him, right? He's been on YouTube for how many years? And he's still struggling. Nobody cares. Nobody cares about him. Nobody cares about what he has to say. So if I had that type of life, right? I don't know, maybe I would crash out too. If I was a fucking reject, I would crash out too. This nigga will never know what it feels like to be that nigga. So what he does,
well, how tall is he? 5'2", 5'3".
Fuck out of here. That shit was hilarious. I'm sorry. It'll never happen for you, baby. You look like a disaster. And that's another thing, yo, your voice is horrible. Like the amount is the level of soprano that's in your voice, my guy. Bring it down some. Just bring it down just a little bit. Try to have some bass in your voice, right? Try to have just like a little bit more, like let it be some kind of appealing. You don't have the looks. So when somebody is listening to you, at least have the voice. You ain't got neither. You have neither. But it's usually nothing ass niggas like this, right? Who do foolish stuff like that. And guess what? He done plugged on that show, y'all, when he thought he was selling the part to castigate me or whatever. He plugged his show like 1,000,001 times. He kept saying, I'm going live after this. I'm going live after this. And so aside from me, Freedom, and Dulcie, we were 3. I think he may have had 17 people or 20 people at most. And that was like a big run for him. And this is him plugging his shit for like an hour on Sonetta. And still no one cared. That part. He had us on the floor. We were laughing so hard, Sharif.
He got a good streaming that night. He probably averaged 11 people viewing at any given time.
That shit had me on the floor. Okay. I said, no,
when he started crying, I was rolling. I could not believe he was crying. I hate you. I hate you women.
I hate you.
I hate you women, man.
He look like he stink. He sound like he stink. He's a fucking disaster. He's a fucking disaster. His looks are a disaster. His high-pitched voice is a disaster. His inability to breathe normally and inhale fresh air, so he sounds like he's 5 steps away from a self-induced asthma attack. That's a disaster. His couch potato face is a disaster. His breath for short is a disaster. His basic attempts, right, to get more than 25 people in his chat Even though he plugs his whack lackluster channel and still no one cares, his disaster. He's a fucking disaster. And this is the most that you're going to get from 4 women at a time without paying for it. Because we know you got to pay for pussy, nigga. We know you got to pay for pussy, nigga. There ain't nobody willingly giving it up. Did y'all see him? Ain't you smoking a Lucy? Man, yeah. Keep riding for Sassy Solar. Birds of a feather flock together. Y'all are both weirdos in real life. In real life.
I know he looks himself in the mirror and says, "Damn, man, I fucked up."
Like I'm a failure.
They fucked up. Calling people bees for no reason at all. This out his mouth, calling people bees. He know he wouldn't like it if somebody call his mom, his daughter, sisters, aunties. Nobody likes nobody to be called, and he just does it so freely and so wicked, like he's hurt.
Cherie said he has bony locks. Yeah, I never heard that, the bony locks.
He likes what?
Cherie said the 10 to 15 locks he got on his head, he holding on to them bitches. Okay, did y'all see that hairline? Do I need to pull it back up?
Yeah.
Did y'all see where the hairline starts?
I really wish you would have found something.
What are you doing?
Oh, girl. His body is bigger than his legs. His body is smaller than how his legs is so short.
On my fucking worst day, nigga, you could never. You are a chick repellent. You know how you go to get to the store and it's mosquitoes in summertime to get bug repellent? This nigga is a chick repellent. Okay? A fucking disaster. I hope y'all hitting that like button, y'all. We dropped the link if anybody want to come up and say what's up to us real quick, because you know, that's it, that's all. This happened over a week ago. You know what I'm saying? We're just now, you know, getting to it or whatever, because he wasn't a priority or whatever. But I hope that he enjoys the attention that he's getting. We did shout him out. You know what I'm saying? Thank you for the crash out. You had us in tears, like for real, for real. We were on the phone laughing our asses off at you. I wasn't offended because I actually would have to respect you or at least maybe like you a little bit for me to actually care. You know what I'm saying? No. Thank you for the humor. Thank you for the comedy show. It was embarrassing. You should be embarrassed of yourself. You really should. You need to thank God that you got no more than 17 people at a time in your whack ass chat.
He's an atheist. Sorry.
Like and subscribe.
I'm just saying though, that was the first time I ever seen 17 people on his channel. It's always maybe 2 or 2 people, maybe 3 at the most. And that's when he was on that dog and some other females, talking about them like a dog. Huh. How soon do we forget?
All right, y'all.
Yeah, he done been on his show dogging females a lot. And it was funny that one day he dogged really bad was on the show that night.
Yeah, a weirdo. And every time he hits you know, he's every time that he hits the link to go on to Sash's channel, whatever, because he know HOK bring numbers, he still tries to like plug his channel. I'm going live. No one cares. You can keep on plugging it. No one cares. No one gives a fuck.
That's why I hate you, Dutz. I hate you, Dutz. That lady Dutz, I hate her.
Was hilarious. Neon, that's why I said before, baby, no one knows him. That's the point, right? But you know, the dots went up there for 2 minutes and the dots got him in his fucking feelings, you heard? But I said what the fuck I said, and I stand on that. And what are you gonna do about it? That part.
Respect women. He can't respect women, then nobody should let him on their damn channel because he's a weirdo. And he's undid it to me. He's undid it to most of the women that I talk to online. He's uncussed them out, called them names, and I've been came in the defense of all of them. You know what I'm saying? Because he's rotten to the core.
And shout out to Mika One, because Dulcie, you mentioned her coming up, because I did see her say that, like, yo, you wilding, like, what's wrong with you, right? Like,
What's wrong with you?
Like, what are you talking about? Like, what are you talking about? But that's how them goofies be. And this is exactly why I don't really hit people panels and channels like that. I made it, the few people I do drop in, I say hi and I keep it moving. I stay in my lane. Like I always tell you that, you know, we be in our own little fucking lane. I be in my own world, just chilling. But when the dots hit the link, the dots get people bothered with birds, just like, you know, you dumb bitch. I hate you. He said he hate you. I hate you. How dare you disrespect? How dare you disrespect my brother, yo? You disrespect my brother, yo.
Girl, after he got it out, he went to sleep. After he got it out, because after the other two sisters got into an argument, he kept saying he gotta go to bed, he gotta go to sleep, he gotta go to bed. Yeah, after you got all that off, I guess you did gotta go to sleep. That was the only sex you ever had. That's the sex that you had that night. That's the only sex you had that night, was all that crying and carrying on. Girl, God, he tired his own self out like a kid. He cried himself to sleep.
I feel sorry for that gaming chair. That gaming chair gets abuse on the daily. Can you just imagine how that shit smell? Did y'all see him? Y'all want me to show y'all him again?
Let alone the smoke, the cigarette smoke that's all in his hair. Girl, he got locks. Can you imagine the cigarette smell that's inside the locks?
Look. Let's look at it.
Oh my God.
Look at this one.
Look at Ebony now to say he gonna cuss all
look at this video
when he see this stream.
And he think he he doing something with what are those, like the 5 devil horns or some shit? Look at him, y'all. They get it.
Well, I mean, Ebony, all he gonna do is say the same thing he been saying. We bitches.
Oh God,
he's a bitch.
Right. That's all I'm gonna say. And I'm a fat bitch. I mean, that's what everybody says. So I mean, like,
they say that about me all the time. That
so
evil
what else
ass
is
bitch.
new?
That's my nickname, evil ass bitch.
Yeah, real kids. Oh my goodness. All right, y'all. Listen. I think we good. Yeah. I'm still laughing. I'm sorry. Oh God, let me try to be serious.
We've been getting cussed out throughout this, but we don't even know we've been cussed out unless somebody
told us. How he looked though. I'm still stuck on that. Like, did y'all see your man hairline though?
Bill,
did you see your man 15
looks body? Oh my God.
Did you see that face?
Oh my God.
Man. All right, y'all. We out of here. We good.
He is Elmer Fudd. That's his name from now on, Elmer Fudd.
I can't get the crash out of my mind. I promise y'all, I have seen some weirdos in my life, but like it's just the funniest thing ever to see a man crash out like that. That shit was hilarious. Like I've like okay. All right, y'all. We love y'all. We appreciate y'all. Make sure y'all hit the like button and all of that. And we will see y'all. I don't know when we come back on. Maybe Wednesday. I don't know. We'll see. Y'all want to say bye to the chat ladies? Are we good?
Yep. Yes. Thank y'all for coming in the Sharice, the realist. The house.
Love you.
In the house. Look, it seemed like when we start talking about everybody started getting quiet, y'all scared of them.
All right.
Ebony, he gonna look over here and see people that's inside the chat.
Unscramble your mind.
Peace, y'all. All right. I ended it, y'all.